live.
Stuart, your green screen abilities are really improved. My God.
What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, clearly you're rotoscoping. There's something special. I don't know. I don't know. Something's off. I feel like it's green screen somehow.
Hmm.
It's like in Temple Run, they say it's always do with tachyons. It's always do with green screen.
Well, yeah, absolutely. No, this is where I always film. I got a haircut today, so maybe that's what looks different. Would be my guess.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Is it because you turned the green screen off? This is finally how it really looks? Is that what's happened? I'm confused.
I mean, could be.
Oh my God. My world is blown right open.
Yes. And Marco Van Asch is nice. I heard there's a 35% discount on those now. Yes, the Trekyards shirts. David Moon says, to celebrate being paid today, I picked myself up one of those fancy Trekyards shirts. Yes. Well, thank you so much.
They're good.
Yeah.
The quality's
35%
good.
off until September 27th, actually. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was next month for some reason. I was really excited.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's full screen.
I'm going to have to get different lighting in here. Sorry for the clicking. That's my dogs. They'll stop in a minute. They're just stupid.
Or is it the Andosian eels? Because it's just a clicking. No, it's the Nightmare Monsters. From TNG.
Yes.
That haunting episode with Diana's hair that looks super weird.
Schisms.
That I'm looking forward to going back to. That'll be
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in terms of lighting, all you have to do is pump some more light to the other side of your face and it'll readjust.
Well, it's going to get darker too, so this is going to even out at some point.
So it's live dimmer switching. It's called reality.
Yes.
It's pretty funny.
Dan says, did you see the Orville season 3 trailer or teaser? I have not yet, actually.
Oh.
Samuel, if you have seen it, can you send it to me? I'll check it out later.
Sure. I'm pretty sure it's a CG bridge, but the fact that it's hard for me to tell is a good sign.
Yeah, apparently it's a new bridge. They refitted it or something.
Well, we kind of knew they were going to, but yes, I mean, it's similar. I mean, I still don't know if that's CG or not. You tell me. What do you guys think? Is it a CG bridge or not? Because COVID, hard to film stuff, but also they've been filming for a year. A lot of whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah, take a look. Can you tell me if it has CG or not?
All right, so you sent it to me.
Because they would have a CG bridge for different events, and if I think it's the depth of field that's made it look CG. Yeah, but it's it looks super real. And then yeah, and like the black levels too, which is such an odd thing to say. But yeah, season 3 of Orville. It's called New Horizons. For some reason, not season 3. Arguably, they might be rebooting it in a sense because they're on a new network, and they've had a year off, and they got to rewrite all of season 3, like from episode 3 onwards. So, but yes, coming out 03/10/22, which for the real people is actually 10/3/22. So, March, which will be during the snow. Well, we don't know. I guess Picard. Yeah, February. Yeah. So Picard and Orville. Who's excited, guys? Orville.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right. Well, have you sent it yet? Because I can't see it.
I did. Yeah.
So.
Is it refusing to go through? We send it again to you because I was assuming you watched it while I was vamping there.
No, I was.
I sent it to Marie. That's why.
Looking for it.
Send it to Marie. That's why.
Oh, she's gonna be like, "What the hell is this shit?"
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch it now.
Okay. So yeah, what do you guys think?
Oh my god.
What do you think? CG or real? I'm pretty sure it's CG.
I think it's real.
Okay. And it's 51,000 views on the Hulu site as of today, which is not bad. Yeah, so today we're talking about Load X Season 2, Episode 7. We're getting close to the end now, guys. But when one adventure ends, the next one will open pretty damn soon, as is the nature of all modern Star Trek. There's more right around the corner.
Wouter215 throws in 10 euros.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
you.
The lighting doesn't make the captain any less distractingly handsome. But always a kiss. Also hit like people. Yes, hit the like button. Thank you for the compliment. Yep. I'm going to have to adjust things because I'm going to be up here for a couple weeks probably. So why is that? Okay. Doesn't know. Well, had a bit. So.
Hold on, guys. Now you're back.
Did you guys hear me? Oh, there we go.
Nope.
What did you hear? Did you hear the issue?
Nope. So Stuart, why are you there?
Oh, because I had to move everything upstairs because our basement flooded and had about 1.5 feet of water. So everything's ruined, pretty much, except for all stuff that was up high, which is a lot of things. And they're actually going to be restoring the basement and renovating. So, and because everybody on our block was essentially hit with the same thing on our crescent, we're going to be kind of juggling for contractors and stuff. So it could be like a couple weeks. So,
but as all
next week I'm going to be in Alberta. So I'll be in a different location next week as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, and this is the sort of thing where once you work out how to light it with some other lights, you'll probably have it down pretty quickly. So I'm not worried.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. So I'll start sharing, and you can talk more. So I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Wouter215, for the super chat. Those are a great way to support the channel and show that you love Trekyards. We really appreciate that. If you're able to super chat during this, that is awesome. We do read them all on the air, and we look forward to hearing from you all the time. So if you can, please do so. We really appreciate that. You can also send a PayPal to trekyards@hotmail.com. Just let us know in the regular chat that you sent that, and I'll read your comment or question via the email for PayPal. So there. Other ways to help us out, there is, like, as you guys know, the TeePublic store down below. There's a link there, and everything right now is 35% off until the 27th of September. So if you want to grab yourself some Trekyards swag, please do so. We'd really appreciate it, and I'm sure that you guys will enjoy it as well. Other than that, just liking the videos, making sure you're subscribed and notified is very important as well. So tell the contractors that you're internet famous. Dun, dun, dun. And Chuck A says WonderCon. I don't know what you mean by that, but Wouter215, why the change in locale? Because, as I said, our basement got flooded, which is where my office space was. So because everything was covered in 1.5 feet of water, everything was essentially ruined. So we need to clean out the basement. All of our furniture down there is pretty much garbage. And yeah, they're going to be restoring it and renovating it. So getting new everything pretty much. So I'll have a new setup in a few weeks, but as of right now, I have to do this up here, and so that's the reason for that. So yeah. Somebody asked in the chat what happened again, so I'm sure we're going to get that a few times over the next little while. So
we've been obscenely consistent with our locations.
Yeah.
For years now, to the point where you just changed the background for one appearance.
Yeah.
You got one use.
Yeah, exactly. Eugene though throws in 2,000 rubles. Thank you so much.
What does Mr. Eugene say?
Awesome guest star. Boimler Mariner subplot is strong. The other one is kind of meh. Too bad we're back at usual pairing. I want Boimler paired with Tendi for once. Yes. I think the Boimler-Tendi relationship is more interesting to me. I'd like to see them actually hook up. I don't want to see Mariner and Boimler become boyfriend-girlfriend, but I think it would work with Tendi and Boimler. I think that'd be great. And Eugene, also member for 20 months at the rank of captain, says, some new functionality from YouTube. Yes, there's the option now You find out how long you've been a member. You can post. And
Wow, my God.
Fleetpod did that, I think, last night in the live. He's been a member for 18 months.
God
So that's kind of
damn.
a new feature. So
Or can we
it's
just
awesome.
say a ginormous thank you? I didn't even realize it was that long. I mean, I know we've
Yeah,
just been churning out content for those 20 months.
he's got the
Pandemic.
fancy badge.
Oh, God, wow.
That's the highest rank badge you can get.
You know, pandemic and etc. been churning out stuff. Doesn't feel that long, but I mean, during a lot of these dark times, you members and we know the most passionate of you are the reason we managed to keep going. So that is incredible. So a massive thank you,
Hmm.
and hopefully, we're not getting a tremendous amount of views, but we make this content for you guys, and we know you enjoy it. So as in the edited stuff. So I hope you're enjoying, and thank you again. That's absolutely incredible. It's really rewarding
Yeah,
to see because, boy, that time's flown.
yeah, yeah. 20 months, damn.
Hmm.
All right, Olivia Julius, $5. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
The engineer is worse than the Loxana Troy. I feel sorry for his royalness. I think you mean the engineer's mother is worse
Yeah.
than the Loxana Troy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's funny because during our other review, I compared her to this cruise, the Loxana Troy for sure. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
um,
it makes sense. It's kind of like, well, almost in a sense, Neelix is the Voyager, Loxana Troy. You could kind of say personality type.
mhm, mhm.
And then DS9,
Uh,
I guess, is like Kai Parker and stuff, but really that's just a villain. But
yeah,
thank you.
shit, no, everybody's using that new feature now.
Well, it's awesome to see. Yeah, I mean, show us all.
Stuart,
Show us all.
yeah. So thank you very much, Marco. He says, Stuart, I hope your basement will get fixed soon. Wonderful to hear that your family came over to help you guys. And kudos for not skipping a beat putting out the Trekyards content, even with no sleep. Yeah, I literally had no sleep the night before last and powered through an hour of a live because I was really tired last night.
Yeah.
But I got some good sleep last night, so that's good. I actually woke up earlier than I thought because
Yes.
I'm meshing Samuel, and yeah. So
I also got up at the same time,
yeah, I got
despite
some,
5-hour time zone difference, which shows you're early
yeah,
and I was a little bit late, which is just.
yeah.
I was very surprised by that chain of events.
Because it's kind of awful because our bedroom is in the
Yep.
basement, as Samuel well knows. So we had nowhere to sleep the first night. We were sleeping on the couches.
Luckily, you
we've
got a great couch.
Yeah, that's true.
Luckily.
But it's still very uncomfortable. That's why I didn't get any sleep. We've since kicked the kid out. Our Christian is actually staying with Sylvia's mom, who literally lives like right beside his school. So he's
Oh,
going to
wow.
stay with her for like a week or two because she's got a spare room because Sylvia's dad went over to Croatia for a few months. He's going to be there till November. So he's going to help her out, and that helps us out because I'm using his bed, and we bought a little mattress for the spare room, for the ready room, which is what Sylvia's sleeping on. So, yeah, it's just kind of a pain, right? And actually, she was sleeping in the library last night on the floor because I was doing a live. So, yeah, it's shitty right now.
And yet, we're still here at the same time, in the same relative quality, and we still have full filming. I mean, guys, also Super Chat sort of said thanks for that, but yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
all for you guys. We love you guys.
Yeah.
Mark Lawrence, member for 20 months, Federation President ranking. The captain is in a dry dock office while the basement is being refitted. Yes. Essentially, we're getting a restored basement, which is awesome because we were thinking of renovating it anyway. So,
No, it's
yeah.
amazing. So, Stuart.
Sergeant Montgomery,
okay.
remember, 10 months. Sorry, these people are using this feature.
They are.
He's been a captain for 10 months, so thank you,
Oof.
Sergeant Montgomery.
Crazy.
You need Nog to finagle the contractors. Yes.
Yeah.
Olivia Julius, $5. Cap, don't you know how ridiculous it is to hide a starship under the water? The lower decks are already starting to flood.
That's good. That's good.
It's true. It's true. Super Coops, member for 20 months at the rank of commander. Oof.
Oof.
Hey, Cap, sorry to hear about your basements. Live long and prosper. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate all the love you guys have been showing. Appreciate it so much. Olivia Julius, member for 17 months, rank of Federation president. 17 months of pugging along, I think she means to say. Yes. And Eugene, 250 rubles. I don't mean romantically involved. it would be fine. I meant story-wise. It's always Boimler, Mariner, Rutherford, and Tendi, except for episode 3. Needs to happen more often. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, but yeah, I still think a lot of people have been talking about the romance between Boimler and Mariner happening, and I don't want that to happen. That's why said that. So.
I mean, I think they've literally every single step told us it's not going to happen, with literal dialogue in the show, other romantic appeal for both of them. Like, they're trying hard to say it's not happening. But Stuart, no more super chats. What did you think of season 2, episode 7? I can finally ask you.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was kind of middle of the road for this season. Maybe at the higher end of that middle of the road, but you know, like I told you earlier, the one story with Boimler and Mariner was the most interesting to me. The Billups one was all right. I mean, good to know some of the other characters a little bit, but I wasn't super stoked about that one. Even the Rutherford Tendi bits were. Rutherford just seemed like he wasn't even there, kind of, even though he was doing stuff. Yeah. And sad to see Tendi sad. That's all. It was okay. It was all right. I didn't hate it, didn't love it. There you go. How about you?
I just rewatched it. Obviously, I did it right before live, so the perspective is going to change between the first and second viewing, as is always the nature of these things. I liked it more the second time round. It's a tricky one because, as I said to you previously, I like both ideas. I like both executions, but neither were fleshed out enough to get to its potential, because it was too conceivably, you know, most of Trek is sort of 75% of the episode 1 story, and then the rest of it is the other, right? So it's not always 50-50, but it felt like they needed each of these to be a full episode with that 25% of the B plot. That I think would have made more sense. And so I want to see a lot more inner joke humor with the alien ship. That would have been fun. It didn't reach potential. And then in the desert planet, it's good stuff, but it felt a bit too... They just went from A to B, a little bit of in the middle. It works a little better, I think, on second viewing, because your expectations are slightly lower in the grand scale of the adventure. And so you can just enjoy what you're given. Because always, first time, you're thinking, you're guessing, you're trying to, where are they going to take this, you know? But when you know, you're not wondering, you're just enjoying. So that, I think, improved it slightly. And I still wish the end had a bit more punch with a familiar ship design of some kind. It could have been, you know, small or even implied. But, you know, Jeffrey Combs, he's been the best guest star so far. Hands down, in terms of actual amount of screen time and performance. He gives a good performance. Which, weirdly enough, isn't diminished by the literal last scene, which proves he's just one of 10,000. But he still has a certain presence, despite knowing that, which shows a good performance and well written, considering how sort of samey the jokes were. But it's the way they were played and the way they were written. So good job on the writers.
I mean, yeah, the writing for the show is pretty consistent, honestly. Even though the episodes, like we said, aren't the best compared to season 1, they're still better than Discovery. They're still better than a lot of Picard. So yes, the writers definitely deserve a lot of credit. And the character development, I think, is fantastic, especially for like Boimler and stuff. So kudos, keep it up. But yeah, Chuck A., who's been a member for 19 months at the rank of commander, says, "Are you going to Florida for a convention?" And no, I'm absolutely not. The border's actually still closed. It extended it again from September 21st to October 21st. So, no, I'm flying to Alberta. That's in Canada. So,
which is interesting, because the UK can fly to Canada and the US.
Oh yeah, like we can... A friend of ours just flew over to Italy. You can fly to I could fly to Florida if I wanted to, but I was saying I can't drive across the border.
How does that make sense?
It doesn't. Welcome to the fucking world of politics. Don't get me started.
I guess there's more checks. I guess you have to do stuff, whereas drive, you can just drive. They're not going to make you... border be too slow if they made you test at the border, I guess. So,
yeah, I mean, you get with the air, you have to go through a bunch of hoops anyway, so... Yeah. So, but yeah, originally I was going to be going to Chicago at the end of this month, not Alberta, but that changed because, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. But no, I like this episode. It's a better second watch. And contrary to what Eugene said, while I do want more of the balanced character dynamics, Rutherford and Boimler was an unsuccessful pairing, and we haven't really seen Tendi and Boimler, so we can't judge it. But by having these two together, who are the two primaries, their story felt far more full because they're the ones with most characters, most character growth, most character development. That felt more real, more gritty. Whereas you throw Mariner and Tendi, hasn't got the same punch for some reason. And like I said, certainly Boimler and whatever. Because this show was built around the idea of these two pairs, for better or for worse. That's kind of how the format goes. It's like you wouldn't give a Friends episode all to Phoebe. She's not designed as a primary. She's not quite that deep. But obviously by the end of the season, you could, but not for the first bit. You give it to Ross and Rachel and a bit of Phoebe, and the other guys are side people, and then it builds. So it kind of showed how strong these initial dynamics are, but then they really didn't use the other two. That's why I like Tendi not being crazy. That's good, but yeah,
being crazy.
Like I definitely needed to have seen Rutherford when he's in the banquet scene to kind of elevate it. Like there's a woman there who's dressed in like, half naked, classic, with the dance lady, and someone hands him like one of their tricorders, and it's this mythical wand-based bullshit spell book, and she's like, "Oh, Rutherford, you're," and he's like, "Oh," and he's like spouting all this techno sci-fi drivel, and she's like, "Oh no, it's really cool." And they both like interact on the same level, and just this like, "Wow, what's this tricorder look like? And why has it got sparks? And why has it got little, what I mean? Like that little extra thing to elevate that moment."
Yeah. Speaking of wands, how did you handle that effect? I haven't checked it out yet. Or is that for the?
That's the second episode.
Video?
Yeah, that's stuff. Yeah.
I'll see wow! It's giving shit away there.
Yeah, that's
Area
confusing
51.
to everyone, isn't it?
It is. Moving on. Area 51, $10. Damage control team to the captain's basement. All hands assist. Yes, you could say that. My lower decks need some attention.
And Sergeant Montgomery says, "I felt like Mariner's character is becoming a Karen." Thoughts?
I can see why you'd say that. Yeah, actually, she is kind of complaining now. That being said, as I said earlier in the other review, she is pretty steady across the board, because she even went to Ransom to have Boimler reassigned. Like, she's still doing Mariner things. There is growth, there is some change with her friends and stuff, somewhat, but she's still managing to be Mariner. So
which makes sense because that's her character.
Yeah, calling her a Karen though, I mean, I can't that much. I think she's just never really had real friends before, and she's learning to adapt to that. So,
yeah, I don't think Karen. I can side with on that. I think it's too complicated for that. And most things she does are for a reason, and not from just yelling or whatever. So, I think it's a bit more complicated. But Stuart, the first scene, we get a meta commentary to TOS, and I'm sure some TNG. A alien race, which is cool design, looks good. Their planet's kind of bloody-uppy, because they finally managed to revolt against the special robot AI deathbot ruler.
I guess that's the implication. Yeah, it was a 100-year war, so all because a computer tricked us into fighting each other. So yeah, he was the mastermind behind all that. So
his death robots, man, death drones, which we'll see later. And
see them. I think you see them in bins here too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of like they're like the ones from what's it called?
Arsenal of Freedom.
Arsenal of Freedom. Yes, shape-wise, when you see them later.
Yeah.
Here you can see like the lower parts and the larger, but not instantly recognizable as such until you know what you're looking for, right? So.
But I really liked the captain here being good captaining. Consoling is like, yeah, guys, it's fine. People, this happens a lot. Don't worry about it. Oops, you got over it. So that was a really, really strong introduction, actually.
Yeah. George Mangrum though throws in $20. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow.
Foley. when the basement flooded. Yes.
George, when support for new fancy toys in the basement given.
Yeah, see, it was my mistake, I guess. I tried to get some whales in there. Who was the one that said that? Somebody said that in the comment. Yeah, I was turning it into a whale tank, but...
It's because you only worked out the weight of the whales, not the water as well, so it all went kablooey.
Yes.
Common mistake, Stuart. Common mistake.
Yeah. I love how Freeman, though, here says a lot of civilizations blame the supernatural, and the guy's like, yeah, that'd be silly. And you see the painting behind him of, like, them worshipping this, AI computer.
Which creates way more questions than answers, because, well, who created the AI? If they did, they wouldn't think of it as a god because they made it. So I like the non... It's like a non-useful statement, but it's a lot of depth for what is a very small moment. So I quite like that.
So we get introduced to Lord Agamus, which is Jeffrey Combs as a sentient computer. And I love the back and forth with Ransom here, him trying to trick him into throwing him into near the network port. I thought Ransom was totally playing along, but at the same time, the way it's presented is like he was like, oh yeah, I can seriously, oh wait a minute. I thought he was playing along longer than that and not coming to a realization. Unless he was just messing with the computer and I don't know. It just wasn't delivered that way. It felt like he was actually like almost tricked,
Well, I mean, and my point, I'll say the first point and then I'll jump away. My point this morning was it said to me more as he's not paying attention, and so the robot said something and he's offhandedly thinking and then thinking, oh wait, what are you saying? So it's less tricking, whereas he's not really paying attention. But actually, it just occurred to me, assuming this thing, well, I can't speculate its backstory, really, it's too complicated, but it did have to take over a planet. It had to successfully rule for 100 years. It can't just have been killing everybody. There's people praying. So it's good at tricking people and having, so while that wasn't exactly a hard trick, for sure, like, it must be good at what it does. I mean, a century is quite a long time in any world. I mean, considering that, what's that, it's pre-TOS at that point? No, that'd be after TOS, but that's a long time ago, right? That's a long, So it can trick people. I did quite like the Elcars though. They looked very Wrath of Khan era, like one of the random civilian console style Elcars, kind of that. I feel like
we see that all the time in Trek, where you see like a TOS panel or something, or even in the 2-part Gambit. The bridge that they're on is like the movie era, kind of almost with the displays. So yeah, I love that. And then, is anyone hungry?
Yeah.
The whole, I don't know why I keep getting alien street food a chance.
I like that. That was a nice little stupid non-note. It's nice.
Yeah.
And then guess who's calling?
Queen Paolana. Ugh, can't speak today.
Wow.
But yeah, the whole, what do we owe this pleasure again? So that gives us the feeling that it's like the Loxana Troy, where the captain wants to get a hail from this person, they're like, ugh. So. But
I don't get the sense it's like every week. I mean, this is deep space. Twice in a year is a lot in that sense. It's probably like once every couple of months.
Well, there's the same analogy too. Like, it's the mother of one of the crewmates. Same with Loxana. Like, there's more chance of them running into her, obviously, for that reason. So.
But Stuart, this race is the only one in the entire quadrant, so you have to come help. I don't buy that for a second.
Yeah.
That queen's a liar.
Yes, I agree.
I don't believe in the same quadrant. Like, quadrants aren't. No, they say sector or quadrant.
She says, Carol, you're the closest Starfleet ship in the quadrant.
Okay. Obviously she's lying, but if they're the beta quadrant, you're saying there's no one at DS9, there's no one anywhere? Like, the alpha quadrant, the beta quadrant. I mean, it worked. Yep. It's a good commentary, and I can imagine one of the writers said sector, and they were like, "Oh, what's the chances you're in the same sector as the dude's planet?" Just say quadrant, make it a joke, It's good. I like it.
Yeah. But then we find out that, sure enough, Billups walks on, and he's like, "Hello, mother."
Yeah, well, the chances he just walks on though as well. I didn't quite get the. I thought they were gonna.
Well, I think he knew that she was coming, so he was on his way.
Oh, but he was like, really? Because he turned and was like, "Oh God, mother."
Oh yeah, because he comes in and says, "Captain, we have completed the." Yeah, okay. But we find out his name is Andarthio, and
That's a
she like
cool name.
asks him what he's been eating, why his mustache is so thinning. Are you taking your vitamins?
No, it's good. And I was, having watched it, I was thinking, is this going to be his mother, his sister, or his wife or his daughter? Because I think, Billups looks 30s, 40s, you can't tell, right? The mum looks 30s, 40s, you can't tell. But that's what would happen in that era of Trek, where everyone's medical tech keeps you looking about the same age for a very long time. So it could easily be his wife. You wouldn't think twice of it. The only thing is that the hair is slightly less blonde. But that doesn't mean anything. So I actually quite like the lack of, I'm not an old crone with all the white hair, It's like, yeah, I'm the queen. Well, yeah, the queen, she's the best care. Our queen is extremely old and doing fine, which is weird because she's extremely old. But if you have the best healthcare in the universe, like the known universe, you're going to be fine.
Oh, yes. Oh, then we get a great shot of the ship in warp. I love that view. Like they actually have a pretty good view for their shitty accommodations, I gotta say.
Well, that's the thing, that that's their one bonus.
Yeah.
Although I don't think there are windows anymore in that pod, the top bit. I think they removed them. So I think that is a still frame from the season 1 version.
There you go.
Like, we've looked at that and there aren't windows. Because why would you re-render it? Like, it looks almost the same. It looks more plate detailed, but I don't see windows up there.
Well, then you get the joke, the phaser rifle. What is that? How is that different than a regular phaser? It takes 2 hands. It's like, yeah, because phasers can do pretty much anything, so what's the advantage of a phaser rifle? Maybe, I would assume a bigger power pack, honestly. Lasts a lot longer, but...
Yeah. Although I'm not sure calling it a joke is necessarily apt. You know what I mean? It's not. It's a comment. Like because we saw that in the trailer. I was kind of hoping there'd be some other element to that. Like it's a good thing to note, but not so much a joke. But that wants to be a fun discussion, Stuart. Why is phaser rifles?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the fact they're impressed he has one kind of implies that it's super unstandard kit. Especially Marinade, assume she should have done stuff with rifles, but like she legitimately feels impressed.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean,
well, it's because he was going on that mission.
Oh, sure.
That's why.
Well, they're military kit only. Like, you don't use phaser rifles for anything normal when a phaser can do it. Although, this still I've got... Boy, that's a good, like, summary of the crew, isn't it? Just hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I also love the name of this episode, where Pleasant Fountains Lie. It actually applies to both storylines. Because the Pleasant Fountain in the Mariner Boimler story is... fix that replicator. You could be dining on cheeseburgers or anything you want.
Oh, yes.
But it's a lie just to get in control of the computer.
Yep.
And then, of course, the other storyline with Billups is, the mother doing what she does and essentially lying to get him to do what she wants. So I love the duality of the title on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, you're never going to remember it, but that's not the point.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, yeah, a lot of this stuff's tricky. Yeah.
But yeah, he's talking about his experience on the Titan again and the wet work, and that was kind of funny. But then he gets reassigned to take this sentient computer to the Daystrom Institute, and he's all annoyed because he wanted to do the other mission. So why was he reassigned? We'll never know.
I do find it interesting and quite good for the character. Why would he want to be attacking like on a tactical mission with giant whatever his scorpions? That's a very specific sort of mission. The fact that he thinks he's ready for that with a real like not
centipedes.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel like fake confidence. It feels like he thinks he can do it. And I don't know. I disagree with that.
Well,
but it's interesting that he would want that mission. That shows how much he's grown and matured. Because season 1 Boimler was afraid of the thing, and he's like actually going to go fight on a mission with them.
Well, he said it's another Class M planet to add his duty thing. So yeah.
But no, he's doing the basic mission. Although that's back to Earth. You would think he'd be excited about going back to Earth, because you rarely go to Earth, and that's all
the
the way back
Daystrom
to
Institute. Earth. Yeah. You think there might be different branches of the Daystrom Institute at this point.
Yeah, but they show the one in Okinawa, so.
Yeah,
And they even mentioned it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't. They should have. They really should have shown the shuttle dropping out an Earth space dock without going past that. They kind of missed a trick there. Like you wouldn't know it was Earth if you didn't know the Okinawa was there.
Yeah.
Which obviously we would know, but they kind of, yeah, actually kind of. I guess there's a lot of extra work to do, but they actually avoided saying back to Earth.
Yeah.
Huh. That's weird, actually. Yeah.
Well, you know what else is weird?
Oh.
We have 78 people and 58 likes.
Oh,
we should have at least 75 likes by now.
Actually,
Come on, guys.
I accidentally went on the best picture to summarize our feelings on how many likes we got.
Yes, I was just gonna say this next scene is impressive. You get a out of warp shot and then a very cinematic view of the Cerritos from the back.
I meant the picture that's on live right now. That face is a face that I think we feel at your live total. I just happened to find it.
Oh well, there you go.
I think, yeah, wow.
Sorry, I'm a little bit delayed. This is delayed, as you know, so I'm not.
Oh, I did put on low latency though, so you shouldn't be as delayed as normal.
Okay. Well, we're at 69 likes, 71 now, so 4 more likes.
Yeah.
There you go. And then, actually, you know what? Screw it. 75 like goal. I don't want that anymore. I'm aiming for 100. Get that like.
Yeah.
But no, this cinematic shot of the Cerritos from the back as it flies by, and then you see the other ship come in, and then even the side by side, like that was beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, I got some extreme TNG vibes, which is all good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is probably one of the most TNG feeling episodes we've had of Below Deck so far.
Yes, yeah, that's kind of what I said in the review too. It's like one of the mediocre TNG episodes.
Just because they don't take anything to the too extreme. Obviously, you have the weird stuff with the Billups sex stuff, but as I refer you back to Naked Now, when Tasha goes on a sex run through the crew. I mean, obviously this was the weird season. It makes sense it's in that season, but I mean that has happened, so there is precedent.
Now, I think a lot of people were confused why they docked like this, which is very NX era style docking because you don't really have transporters then. My thinking is, yes, they could beam them over to the Cerritos, but because she's royalty, this is like that grand entry into the ship, the red carpet rolled out essentially. So maybe she doesn't like to be beamed. Maybe I would assume they might not have beaming technology. I don't know if it's necessarily common for all species and races. But the Cerritos certainly could have beamed her over. But I think it's more of a every time we see this ship, we got to do this stupid dock and this stupid like. That's kind of the vibe that I get, you know.
Yeah, and we've seen the Cerritos transporter room, and it looks like a cargo transporter bay. Not exactly the fit for royal entrance sort of vibe. Not to say it's ugly or anything, it's just it doesn't have the same elegance as an all transporter room. And yeah, I hadn't considered the idea of it's a weird way to dock. I just assumed, society doesn't focus on technology.
Yeah.
Might have transporters. But it's it's nice. It's refreshingly classic. You know, and it kind of reminds me of like a drawbridge. You know, old school sort of way. Yeah, it's good. I liked it.
Well, it makes you wonder how many times they would have done this in TNG if budget allowed it. Because not everybody has transporters. The Enterprise would always beam them over, right? How many times would they run into a ship where maybe this would be a thing? Because there's docking ports on the Enterprise D.
Yeah.
So that would have been cool to see, but budgetary they couldn't do that. In animation, it's fine, right? So
yeah, and we don't see it in this scene, but I love the whole thing is filled with torches and wooden. It's just a lovely little detail. I kind of wish it was more elaborate. Even I think almost the joke wasn't pushed far enough, and I think someone's been a royal god. I kind of wish there was more of a. Like they could have done with a moment where Freeman waits her at the door, and because she's a queen, they have to be in dress uniform, and the whistle thing. Like it would have been nice to have had the forced pomp, kind of like if you remember the Voyager episode where the Devore are always screwing them over, and every single time they have the exact same prim and properness. I think that would have done well here. Like she says to Jack, "This is the 4th time this month I've had to wear this uniform for her." You know, arm torpedoes if she does it again. Like I think you said this earlier. It all revolves around the length of episode. If this was 40 minutes. This was primary plot. We would have had more of that stuff. So it's a kind of it suffers from that. But that's just like it could have been cooler with, rather than it's not good already. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, then we get Billups giving his whole speech. You know that you guys know I'm royalty, and that I grew up on Hesperia, and Rutherford gets all excited. Oh, the planet with the all, with the dragons and the castles that got colonized by all those Ren Fair types.
And that's not exposition at all.
But yeah, I mean, find out he's royalty, and if he,
Yep.
you know, his mother's always trying to have him have sex. Rutherford's like, what? Not with her, obviously, but just sex in general. So if he does, as soon as he loses his virginity, he becomes like the king or like the ruler. So, poor Billups.
Well, I mean, arguably, he's missing out on a lot with that. I don't know, not arguably, very truthfully. But it's interesting because you can't say it's a weird cultural thing. They're setting up their society as being weird, so it's very apt. It kind of, it feels very good. I do hope. I can't imagine we won't, but I imagine we're going to go to the planet at one point and see them riding dragons and stuff. Like, that's a setup.
Yeah.
They picked the planet with real dragons, because everything can exist in the universe, so this is the planet that has that stuff. No, it's, And boy, his team is supportive of him. That's one takeaway from this episode.
Yep, they cheer him on a few times.
It's a very good team. And it helps the whole show feel cohesive, because it's just, people like each other,
Then we get the grand fanfare sound effects as they come through the engineering door. And this would have been the perfect scene to have that dress uniform on the captain. That would have been hilarious, actually.
Or like they have to have special ones because they're so fancy. And I appreciate in second viewing you now appreciate these guards more.
Yeah. I appreciated the one on the left quite a bit when I first saw her, I gotta say. But
I feel like I should flip the image just so people can take other assumptions.
Oh, you bastard. The lady. I'll just say that. Snoopy McQueen, $5. When did Trek not become a family show? Is there a Star Wars show that families cannot watch? Why can't anybody watch this?
Well, explicit sex in it.
Not really. Just saw a little bit of nudity, butt cheek.
Well, I mean, they're talking about sex. I mean, like the concept, the.
So, what are we prudes now? Come on now.
Well,
I think it was.
Yeah, he's meaning for families. So if your kids are like 4.
My kids watched that shit when they were 4.
I
they
know.
turned out all right.
Well, I mean, no, not they didn't, but you're a different sort of parent, which is fine. No, I don't have too much of an issue. I mean, this isn't a family show. It's an adult, like it's a teen at least version.
Yeah,
so,
it's more adult humor. Yeah, you won't see this on Prodigy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Whereas TOS was, for everybody, but obviously it's more towards adults. I don't know. It's
Sergeant Montgomery, $2. Why does any of this matter if he abdicated? Yeah, I don't know. He did abdicate his rights.
Well,
his mother's just very demanding and wants him to follow the family business. Okay. It's the same trope you hear over and over again. You want the kid doesn't want to be in the family business, and that's all that the parents want. So
well, she did make him to be king. Like, she made him for that one purpose in her womb.
Made him.
So, I mean, she has every right to want a thing from him, and he has every right to say no, but, I mean, if you created your computer, it didn't work, you'd be like, I created you, do what I say. This is a different culture. I can imagine there is no abdication, like, in their law. Like, so I don't think you can put that on them. And I'd also imagine he's probably an only child. Like, you can tell there's layers to this they've thought about but not explored. So hence I think there'll be a sequel to this in season 3.
Possibly, yeah.
Where I think she really will have died, and that's why they fake her out here, because that'll be the
yes, and he'll be the whole time thinking it's just all a trick again. Yeah,
and I think that'll be the situation next season.
Yeah. I love how he does say the only lady I love is 2 decks tall and pumped full of dilithium. Yeah, baby.
Which is great, because we know how big the warp core is.
Yes, yeah.
That's what I took from that, Stuart.
Yep.
Literal comment.
But they're having problems with their dragon breath engines, and they have no idea why.
Yes, they are.
And she kind of appeals to him here, like, I'm not coming to you as for help as Prince, but as an engineer, even though she has trouble saying the word. It's very well done. So
Yeah, in second viewing, when it's a ruse, I really like the acting because she sells it.
yeah,
She does sell it really well. Which, you know, if this is the 7th or 8th time she's tried this on him, it must be something else to make him believe it. So the
Yeah.
fact that she's really selling it, yeah, that's good.
Chuck A puts in $2. So thank you so much. Jeffrey Combs has had 8 different Star Trek roles now. Yes.
And not a single bad one. He's surprisingly flexible.
Mhm.
Because this isn't Wayun.
Yeah.
So ain't no Wayun.
Olivia Julius, $5.
Thank you.
This planet seems like a D&D board. Well, yeah,
That's good.
it is.
If this isn't revisited, I'll be upset.
Yeah. We got the tough Tindy Rutherford thing where he doesn't want to go over and help, and she's like, "Oh, come on, you really do. You really want to go over and help. It's a chance to work on a new style of engine." And it's like, "Oh, yeah, I guess you're right."
You get an MSD.
Oh, he did get an MSD. I know.
That was totally made for us. I'm just saying,
Oh, yeah.
like, conceptually, you didn't need this at all. This is unnecessary work. This
Well,
is
if you
just...
zoom... Well, I guess, never mind. We have a video coming out about
do.
it. There's some goodness in there, so...
And this takes work to do. I mean, it's not exactly the most hard thing, but no, I definitely appreciate it. And I like the idea that it looks still like a Federation aesthetic. So I think they've like translated the schematics automatically into an MSD for the...
Yeah.
You know, I just like some of the context here. Yeah, what do you think of this like created drama of him not wanting to go over?
It seems silly, especially from Rutherford. Like, he is always about repairing tech and doing cool stuff as far as technology goes. So it is weird. It could be because he's got a weird relationship with Billups. Like,
Yup.
there could be some implied,
Yep.
thing going on, or at least a desire to.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's why he doesn't want to see him in that context. I don't know. I did think it was a little weird, honestly, but
I think it's another metaphor for what happens later. It's performance anxiety. Because he's being asked to travel with his boss, who he really likes, handpicked, that's pressure, to help fix his mum's ship, and he will be judged for this or not fixing it, even if Billups is the main thing. So it's like being given the, keys to the castle and then not knowing if you're good enough for it. So I actually quite like it as it's good that he sorted out it so quickly, but I think it does make sense. He does value the relationship him and his boss have.
yeah.
Ooh, they made a shuttle at warp. Lovely to see.
Yes, yeah.
And I didn't catch that first time. Marina's got her legs on the Doom person box. I thought she was just on the console. That's a nice touch.
Well, that makes more sense now too. I didn't realize at the end it was the Daystrom Institute in Okinawa. Now that you said that, it definitely looks like it.
Mm-hmm.
But here she did say we'll grab some Okinawa ramen, and I'm like, okay, I thought that was a kind of ramen, but I guess it's not. I don't know.
It's ramen from Japan next to the Daystrom Institute. It's just like they should have mentioned Earth. Like maybe it's just how I'm going to see Boothby or something. What we could have done there, but yeah, and then things go haywire real quick.
Gravimetric shear. They get trapped in a gravity well.
And it feels just so classic TNG. Just like right out of it, and beautiful visual at green. That's great. Really nice visuals.
Green reminded me of Galileo 7. All the green swirls in the maelstrom that they're in, right? So
it's a very effective crash actually. It's a little bit quick, but we want to get into the action. But it's vicious, and when you pan to the ship, oh damn.
It's in rough shape, yeah.
That thing, and I did read a brief comment from Mike saying we wanted to play the same trope as other crashed episodes and just really wreck it, and that is like the fact that they survived that without seatbelts. Shit.
That's the Yosemite too. Like that's one of the main shuttles we've seen a few times. So is it going to come back, or is it going to be? Is that the trope? It always comes back, like the.
That's worth keeping an eye out for. Yeah, good catch.
The one from the runabout from DS9, the Rio Grande. It was always around. Everybody else, all the other ones got destroyed or whatever. So
yeah, no, that's cool.
Jadok Productions, who's been a member for 12 months now at the rank of captain.
Amazing.
So, good morning, guys. Hope you are all well. And I am pretty annoyed with Paramount Plus. No Trek. What do you mean no Trek on Paramount
For
Plus?
Australia? Really? That seems what's pointing that otherwise. Dan asks, what is ramen? Ramen is a noodle. It's the classic Asian noodle type, which is not, more different texture than spaghetti noodle. It's the, if you ever have like a Chinese takeaway, that's the noodle type, or roughly that.
Yeah, like we've got some here. They're called Mr. Noodles. You buy them in packs. You can they take like 3 minutes to make in the microwave kind of thing. You mix in anyway. Yeah.
No, this you don't really realize it the first time, but the fact the window's destroyed. I mean, this is like a beyond destruction level event. They've really screwed this, and the fact they're fine. Wow. I mean, it's fine. Like, these things are designed to crash. Like, what's the point of them otherwise? But they're very lucky to be alive. I kind of wish they'd maybe addressed that for a second.
Yeah. I am me. C throws in $50 super chat. So thank you so much. That is awesome.
Wow. Thank you.
Lower Decks is rated TV mature. I don't think they were pushing anything beyond their rating. Hope the flood damage gets fixed quickly. Well, thank you so much. And yes, it is rated mature, and I have no issues with that. Yeah. But thank you so much for the super chat. That is amazing.
I mean, it's all personal preference, as is with any comedy. Some jokes can be too racy, some as in saucy racy. So we both, I think, thought the masturbatory alien was a little, maybe one step too far. You were more fine than I was, but this sex stuff, I think, was right on that line of because it makes sense. It's a build up and there's no payoff.
There is no money shot, Samuel. No. There is a build up, but.
But we did get a happy ending to the episode, though.
Oh my god!
Just not for
Billups. I knew it was coming. Oh, there's another one. Anyway.
See, you just got some sex jokes there for your $50. Thank you so much. Wow.
Brendan Pickett says mature. It certainly isn't mature. It's TV mature. That's the rating. It's so.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mariner has
lowest decks is anti-climax at the end.
Yes. Mariner has a fracture, and she fixes it immediately, and Boyne was like, I can't even look at it. Which is kind of their original dynamic that they had going in to the show from season 1, whereas by the end of this episode, it's kind of the exact reverse, which is interesting, actually. All-Star Guru throws in $2.
Thank you.
Check the new map of the Cerritos in engineering.
Yes, we are going to. I wish we could get more detail, and we know they're going to release it separately. And we'll talk about it, don't worry. Obviously, we haven't even got to it yet, but yes, very impressed with that. Yeah, I thought it was an interesting choice, actually, and it really does work. Mariner has got a broken or fractured arm the entire episode. So, yet another time that she could have been stronger, could have been more kick-ass, but by giving her this, disability, she's allowed to take the second fiddle and then have Boimler, almost literally she can't perform. He's having to do all the work and does succeed in almost everything he tries.
Mm-hmm.
Might be bumbling at it, but that's his personality, and he's young, so I think it actually works well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ozzy Medeiros throws in $2, so thank you, Ozzy. Why there was a couch in the near planet? Why there was a couch in the near planet? I don't know what you mean, Ozzy.
How do you clarify? One thing I was surprised about is all of this wreckage in every scene. There's nothing familiar.
It's odd for Lower Decks, for sure, yes.
Yeah.
Are you sure there's nothing familiar? You're like leaning in, going.
Yeah, well, it's just odd to me, because you would think there could be lots of stuff. Although someone mentioned in the chat, this would have been the perfect time. Okay, see if you know what I'm going to say. Perfect time to include a Discovery shuttle.
No, yes.
That would have been perfect, just buried in, and it's just there, no reference to it. They walk by it, no interest. Fully rendered Discovery shuttle in the ground. Perfect time to throw it in. And since we have a Star Trek Picard reference, which is the second time it's happened, yeah, that'd be interesting. That would have been appropriately silly. But it's a good looking planetscape. It's pretty barren. Kind of impressive all the stuff is this close together. But no, it's good, and you can tell it's pretty hopeless. Just so much damage, my goodness. Oh. Well, I mean, you still can see me, can't you? Oh, well, hi. How's it going, guys? Breaking her arm, show loss. The clash was meaningful. Yep. Yep, good thing about... I mean, it shows you can really wreck a shuttle. Yeah, you can, which is great. Let's see. Let's see. How are you guys doing? Jeremy, Rutherford has a subconscious thing for Phillips. Possibly. And there he goes. Let's see if he says anything. But yeah, we're going through well. There it is.
Oops.
So you went, you beamed. You beamed somewhere, I guess. You're taken away.
I guess so. Why does... Sorry, that was my bad. I was moving my second monitor here, and I hit the power button on the computer with the monitor.
Are you put on standby?
Well, it shut it down, actually.
That was a quick turn on then. Jeez. Cool.
It's a solid state drive in this thing. Yes, it is a quick.
Wow.
General Grievous, though, $2. Quagmire, Cockings, and Stewie Foley. I will accept this. This is excellent. What else do we got here? Star Trek fan forever puts in $2. Was the opening title sequence shorter this episode? I don't know. I skipped them, so.
Yeah.
We should probably watch them. There might be Easter eggs in the odd one here and there. But anyway, sorry, I gotta get that pull those pictures back up. God.
I gotta say, I did quite enjoy the next joke with licorice.
Oh yes,
It's
licorice.
So random, and it shows they obviously don't like licorice in the production team, because some people do like licorice, so that's quite insulting. But it's really unusual to have the ship be broken, but stuff still work. Obviously, that's not oxymoron, but to have the replica still work is a life and death situation, but it is still broken. And so you can only do licorice, which arguably a lot of population just hates, and you can't fix it. That's actually, I thought, was a really meaningful little. It's like it's worse than having it be broken. That's worse. I can make unlimited licorice. Yeah. Although I was expecting that the computer would be plugged in to fix replica at this point, or like in the episode. I was not expecting where they were going to take that, so I'm quite pleased. But everyone hates licorice apparently.
I hate black licorice. Regular licorice, absolutely. If it made, regular licorice, I'd be all over that. But yeah, black licorice is disgusting. Moving on. So the evil computer's talking to them. He's trying to close the lid, but the lid's broken from the
Please, friend, let me out. He's so charming when he wants to be. It's great.
Now, we cut back to the Hesperian ship, and Billups here says Hesperian culture can be a bit distracting. I assumed that there'd be like half-naked women wandering around because we already heard about the sex thing. If you have, and considering this is like the royal ship, I could just see everybody like half-naked because they're trying to tempt Billups. That's kind of what I was expecting. But it's just very extravagant with like large paintings everywhere and filigreed everything, There was the dancing girl, yes. She was kind of scantily clad, but yeah, not exactly what I was expecting here. So
yeah, it's definitely. Well, it does make sense though that the mum's tried every plot under the sun.
Yeah.
So to play it straight, totally straight, it is interesting. But I was expecting a bit more of the magical elements, the more random stuff. So it was maybe even as an engineer, Rutherford would be like, "Oh my god, this does this, this does this," could have been fun. Or just more ponts, but I guess, or pomp and circumstance, I mean. But obviously, it's still a functional spacecraft. Like, this isn't the pack leads. Like, they know how it all works. It's just in their own vernacular. So it works. And it is an impressive looking ship. I said to you in our review that if you sort of squint and don't look at the chairs, the space stuff, it's easily just a big hall. And you, oh, wait, no, there's spaceship chairs. Which makes sense. It'd be aesthetics first and then just shove some tech in it. But it works. It works well.
But they go into the engineering room, and I love the design of this thing.
Isn't that fantastic?
They designed it to look like a dragon. Yeah. To check the levels of the dragon's blood flame, the primary fusion reactor. They rename everything to make it sound like magic, which is hilarious in and of itself. But yeah, as you said earlier, it's just the words they use for like the equivalent of plasma for us, which so.
I mean, arguably, it's the other way around. Billups has been used to that his whole life with learning his own planet. He had to translate his own brain for the English versions or Galactic Basic. But I think it's great. I kind of wanted more of those jokes. Like with a lot of the stuff, I wanted a bit more. They abandoned it quite quickly. But just what a great idea for a dragon. And it would have been really cool, and I just consider this while you're talking, if the dragon is symbolic of our dragons make dilithium as a byproduct. So they're literally dragon powered. Wouldn't that have been cool? Yeah,
that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Well, Rutherford even says the... and Billups is like, no, don't do that.
Which makes you wonder, does he actually know what things are? Or is he just literally making stuff up? Because it's pretty disrespectful to make stuff up. Or has he kind of like... Or is it like labels maybe? Like, what vibe are you getting with that?
Well, I think the tricorder might have been translating what they called it, maybe. It would be my guess. But yeah, it almost seems like he was making it up. So I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I guess you would need to have... You'd need to have it translated in it just to kind of be able to communicate with the people you're dealing with. You download the yeah. No, absolutely. I like that.
Yeah, and really nice display window for the plasma conduit things. There's like dragons all around, like very extravagant, right? As is everything on this planet. So anyway, back to speaking of planet. I said ship. I said planet. It's a ship. Anyway, planet. We're back on the planet now. God damn it. I love how the thing scans him and is like, I'm worried about you, friend.
He's so charming in
a Jeffrey Combs kind of way. Like a White Wei Yun kind of way.
Yeah.
Charming, but manipulative at the same time. Like, it's Wei Yun, pretty much. Throwing the compliments, but always trying to get that, edge on people.
I kind of was expecting, though, there was going to be a twist that he actually did want to help them. Seeing the greater good of once I get off the planet, I can do my own thing, like biding my time. So I kind of I'm wondering where the line is that one of these things is not a deception. I don't know. I mean, it all is deception, but I wish there was a bit more of a. But it's cool, and I get a. This was the first time I got Force Awakens vibes. The AT-AT gives me that. What's it called? What's Ray's planet called? I'm thinking Dukat, but it's not that. What is it called?
No, it's
Jen Hay? No.
No, what? I can't remember. Goddamn. Oh, while you're thinking, Carl Babergsy puts in £5.50. Dragon looks like TOS Vol. Deliberate?
Oh, interesting.
Actually, it does. You're right.
Jakku.
Jakku. There you go.
Got there.
Thank you. Well, Tingy. Put that in.
That's how I remembered. No, I like the pimples. It's funny. And boims. Boims is the special word.
Well, I love when he said in the last episode, or this episode, you've been boimed. That's going to be a thing now. You've been boimed.
Boing.
I am me. C throws in $5. Thank you so much. Do you think these seemingly too short plots would do better at 45 minutes? Maybe do two-parters like an old Justice League cartoon. Yes, I think.
Yeah.
I think the Boimler Mariner one is perfect. Length. I think they covered everything they needed to cover with that.
Yeah.
But the Billups one definitely needed more time, I think. because the Billups one didn't catch me as much as this one did. So yeah, I think that would be beneficial.
Well, also the fact that if you were to actually edit out the Mariner and Boimler stuff, the time between he's dead to no he's alive, what, 3 minutes? Like, it's so quick. It doesn't feel like a reveal because it is so quick. No, I think, yeah, it would have been better with more time. I kind of wish they were not limited to 24. Discovery can do however much it wants. Like, give us 29 if you want to. Because they could have made a lot of difference in 5 minutes extra. A lot of difference.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, I'm really happy that this creature that appears doesn't overstay its welcome. I was kind of thinking, oh god, we're just going to fight another creature of the week. I'm thrilled with that screen time this thing got. Small note, but it came, it saw, it avoided phaser fire.
It ate their food.
Ate their food. And it sets up their phasers, which, to be honest, would have been a weird cutaway if suddenly Boimler had one. It's like, where were you hiding that?
Yeah.
Yeah, eat all their food. And it's green food for some reason. I guess it could be saliva, but...
It is saliva. When it was running, I think it had the green saliva too. But the thing almost gets access to Mariner's pad and transfers some data and then completes the download, even though she threatens to kick it to pieces. So.
It's a cheeky. But now that she don't have food or drink, they're not doing so well. And I do quite like the subtle, not subtle makeup of making them look worse. But no, Stuart, I just want water, mate. And it even goes as far as she's like water, cold, and it's like licorice, dry. It's like, oh god.
Yeah.
It's even worse.
I love how he's like, I could fix that. Tap water, still water, bubbly with lime. Just plug me in. I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. Making some. Because the shuttle's wrecked. Wrecked. It's not like you can take off with it, but.
Yeah, what can he do? I mean, what can he do, really? Well, I guess we don't know what, because neither of them are engineers, I guess. Either they don't try and fix anything, which is interesting in itself. But it is like beyond repair, and yet you would think the replicator could be fixed enough to at least make water. You would think you would think it'd be like an emergency protocol just to make water, the most simple thing that we all live off. But why couldn't you put him only connect him to the replicator, which is already sort of useless, so you're not going to lose anything, but point a phase at him?
Well, that's the thing, too. Like, later, Boimler tricks him and hooks him up to just the dimmer switch. He just needs his battery for the distress call.
Yeah.
How did Boimler do that, first of all? Like, there's a whole plot missing there as far as how he managed to do that. Because he literally plugs him in and all the consoles light up on that other ship.
I get it, so we'll talk about it when we get there.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't, so there you go.
I'm just surprised he didn't, like, do this or I'll phaser you. They even call out as a sentient being. So if it's full sentience, as they're claiming, it doesn't want to die, and it's not implied it can make a force field or anything, and it'd be the one powering the shuttle rather than the other way around. So, yeah, I'm surprised the replicator wasn't... Obviously, we want them to leave the ship, that's why, but, you've got more to lose, like your own lives. Risk it. It's worth risking, I think.
Yeah. Mark Lawrence, though, $5.
Thank you.
Black licorice comments by Mariner, totally on point. I can't stand the stuff. I won't eat mixed jelly beans that have black licorice mixed in either. Yeah. I hear you, man. But they got to go look for water. Apparently, there's things alive on this planet, so it has to be water. So they're going to go look. And Boimler decides to take the thing with them. And she's like, why don't you bury it like Data's head? So another reference to TNG. But it's our duty to respect sentient light. And he's like, yeah. So, stupid Starfleet ethics. Which you think people would kind of say that more often in Star Trek. They're thinking it in a lot of episodes, but...
No, I actually love this little moment. Not only for and this is subtle stuff, the fact that she out-knowledges Mariner rarely happens, with references showing he's evolved, he's getting further into her level. That's because in season 1 it would have been the other way around, 100%. So I dig that. Good job. And just that is a Star Trek well played moment of this is what we do. Whereas in Discovery they shout, "We're Starfleet." This is so gentle and so like, duh, come on. She's like, God damn it, but yes, it is played perfectly for that. One of my favorite episodes, one of my favorite moments of the episode, easily, is this little engagement. How it's played. It's literally a robot that's destroyed almost a planet, but we ain't gonna kill it because we're Starfleet, which arguably is the wrong decision anyway. But arguably the right decision.
Yeah.
Also, you're in focus. Good. But yes, they leave.
And then he's gonna climb up and get this fruit, and she's like, "You can't do that." He's like, "Well, I took up rock climbing on the Titan," and she gets all pissy.
Well, no, he says your arm's broken, so you ain't doing it. So there's no choice.
She's like, "I swear, if you bring up your study abroad one more time."
That's another favorite line of mine.
Yeah. But he's like, "You're just jealous because I'm pretty much on your level now." And then he grabs this. I thought he was gonna break an arm or a leg, honestly, when he fell, to kind of be matched with her. But anyway, then the things fall and they taste disgusting. It tastes like black licorice. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Yeah, this was good because he does a really good job. Like, this is not his fault. The thing breaks.
Mm-hmm.
That's not his fault in any way. So,
well, look, it looked dead. It looked like a dead branch. So I mean, you got to be kind of.
Well, yeah, he wasn't careful, but he also wasn't climbing. Like, she said he wouldn't be able to climb. He climbed. He just couldn't. He just misworked out. So I appreciate again. He's a bit bumbling, but he's better than he was talent-wise. It's genuine growth, so I really appreciate that. And yeah, black licorice, that made me laugh. That was great. A good payoff. They still drank it. Oh God. Yeah.
And the computer's like, you could have been enjoying a cheeseburger or blueberry muffins. At which point I'd be like, yeah, I'm plugging you back into the replicator. Just make me a good cheeseburger. Speaking of, Matt sent me cheeseburgers last night. And I had cheeseburgers for supper.
Oh, wow.
So I was full, but,
Did that make your destruction of property easier?
It made me feel bloated, but probably one of the reasons I went to bed and slept so well, I guess. I don't know.
Cheeseburgers are what healed your dreams.
Yeah. Dom Blanco throws in $5.
Thank you.
We use black licorice to catch catfish. It is not for human consumption. There you go.
That's good.
Carl Baborski puts in £9, so thank you so much. 25 minutes works well for this format. Got to be careful when changing it. Doctor Who tried for the 45 minutes in the mid-'80s, and it was a disaster. Not written for it. Thoughts?
I agree in concept, although they haven't tried, so all Star Trek works as 45 minutes. This is the outlier. They do very well considering. I would like to see 5 more minutes, make it a full 30, which a lot of shows are 30. I think that would give them a real charm. It's like with Discovery. Season 2 was better than Season 1. The extra 15 minutes helped a massive amount, actually. You don't think of it, but when you watch 40 minutes, it just felt too small or whatever. No. I love the end reference back to the robot saying, what was he going to say? Guacamole. Which is so random.
Yes.
But they eat burritos a lot. And it scanned their service records. So they know she eats burritos every other episode. So that... Yeah, I can buy it. But Stuart, the poll. Tell us about the poll I put up a while ago.
Well, you see, he did this poll.
I did.
About 4 minutes ago.
I did.
That's what it says. And it says black licorice, love it or hate it. And 73% hate, which is lower than I anticipated. Because it is disgusting, just for the record.
Please vote. I don't want to see. Although I had to Google it. That's how you spell licorice. Lyco rice.
Yep.
That's the
Welcome to the English language.
That's the most nonsensical. I was like, Licorish, licorice.
Yeah.
That is a nonsensical. That makes no sense.
Yeah. Captain Ron Phillips throws in $2.
Thank you.
You hear Shatner going to space with Bezos next month? Yes, I heard that. So Captain Kirk will be in space. Ish.
I should
Close.
see he should be in uniform. That's a full opportunity. Because if Jeff's paying extra $500,000 to put on his TOS uniform, well, a new one anyway. I won't fit in his 60s one. Wow. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, they bury the thing, and then it helps Starfleet. I'm under attack by crabs.
It's a
kind of
very
silly and stupid. But...
it's a very weird, like, it's a 4 second later payoff to a joke that isn't meant to be a joke. It's odd, but I did like the little context of just getting nicked by crabs. I thought it's fun. I thought it was fun.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, the computer, accessed her pad, obviously, so shows him why he was off the other mission, because she went up and told Ransom that he wasn't ready for it, and to throw Belmont on the escort mission. And he's like, oh, okay, I thought he was ready for it, but okay, I'll reassign him.
Now, at this point, did you think it was real or not real?
I thought it was not real.
Me too. Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was fake, because it's such an easy thing to... Cause the way the robot's being played, he's almost genuine, and that's kind of the worrying thing. He's telling him the truth. There's no varnish here. That's exactly what the truth is. I did expect, though, I'll be honest, a bigger reveal of some Mariner deep dark secret that was like, wow, right turn. She's actually a genetically modified person, or X, Y, and Z. That I think would have been even stronger to make this episode be even cooler, like a big overarching plot element. This was good, but the way he says it is like, I know the dark secret, and he's like, I know the rumors. It's actually something really small.
Yeah. Jeremy Caulfield says, would that make Shatner the first Canadian in space? Hell no. There's been tons of Canadians in space. So, Dom Blanco throws in $2.
Thank you.
Pacific Ocean. Think about that's English. Pacific. Yeah, Pacific sound. It's fine.
That's how I'd spell it. Yeah.
Yeah. Matt Williams, though, £4.50.
Thank you.
Love the character development in this. Such easy watching. Genuinely feels like we know the crew now. Yeah, absolutely. I love how you said easy watching. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a nice like, it was a very sleek watch experience. Like, it was pulling me with it. There was no real dips. It was just I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he wakes Mariner up.
Yes. And he's reaming her out. She's like, did that computer tell you that? He's like, what do you mean, the truth? So anyway, yeah.
She doesn't deny it here, which is weird.
Yeah.
She doesn't confirm. She plays it coy. But I was expected to be but then it wouldn't be a good payoff if it was fake, even though he only confronted her 2 minutes later.
Yeah. I love how she calls him to a 100-year-old router. How rude.
That's good. And it's tricky on the second viewing, because you've got to wonder, is this the moment he's playing Mariner the first? Because if this is genuine pissed off, the next scenes don't work as well. So, because otherwise he comes down off that and has a plan quickly. I got to think this is actually, I'm going to use this. Because if you're tricking the 100-year-old smart world-dominating robot, this I feel like is the start at the moment. What do you think? Because his acting is really solid. But what do you think?
Yeah, I think he was tricking him this long, yes. Okay. I think this was... He served on a Titan long enough to be with, hanging out with Riker and stuff. He might think in a different... Yeah, so...
Yeah. I like the way it's played, because then it means he can commit to the anger in a way, because he needs to convince Mariner and the robot, the AI. But if he was genuinely mad, he might be convinced out of it. That's why I think he's so genuine from this point onwards as being mad. That's why I think it's all an act, because he's like playing the part so well. So I like it.
Yeah. But back on the Hesperian ship.
Amazing.
Yeah. The mother comes in and says, I have this one could say that I'm even, what's that word? And Billups is like, proud? I'll only be proud once you take my place on the throne, but today I'm satisfied. Which is probably the best he's got from his mom. So, and I love that Captain Freeman is like, report to my ready room. And so he tells Rutherford to finish up and takes off. And she's basically like, no, I was just giving you an out in case, your mom was, which I thought was really nice of her, actually. In case your mom was up to her usual antics. So.
Oh, you did miss two little brief things, which I don't know what subtext
sorry.
is. But when they're fixing things, he's like, the quickest you ever fix things. And you commentate, which is an unusual... I think, because they say, we don't know what's wrong with it, and they come in, and they find the problem, but just think it doesn't make sense. So clearly, the mother's breaking things as they go, until they find the thing to fix. It's like, it's a mystery, it doesn't make sense, because there is nothing broken. And so, it's a nice little moment. But I don't know, but the subtext here, and it's only because they've said it previously, but this one frame, I know it's because of the extra padding of the the regalness of even the engineer's sliding unit that lets him fix the thing. But there's one frame I noticed has been like, I mean, come on, if this isn't for the shippers out there,
The shippers, eh?
Is that what it's called? We said it the other day with Kirk and Spock. Because come on, the way they play this, it's got such a sexual vibe of him just like, hey Billups. Like, come on, it's like such a seductive pose for an unnecessary moment. Because there's been a little bit of that subtext. So I just want to bring that up.
I actually didn't notice that personally. But
I like the thing with the mum. I thought it was a nice little scene.
Yes.
And instantly, when they got into the ready room, I was like, oh no, this is when the explosion happens from the trailer. Oh no. I was one step ahead and I was like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. So they go over and find out that readings were nominal, but there was an explosion and the queen is dead. Dun dun dun. And right away I'm like, it's a lie. Not only because of the title of the episode, just because you just get that gut feeling that this isn't, she's trying to trick him. So
it's a very real explosion, though. I mean, they legitimately blew up their warp core. Shit, this ship ain't leaving, Stuart. They have to be towed back home because this thing is stuck. This is an all or nothing sort of plan. I do wish they'd give us a line saying we're gonna run out of power in a 4 hour, like some sort of drama here beyond the mum being killed, because this would normally in a show be quite important if the engine core blows up and takes part of the engineering hull with it. Small thing, I know, but yeah, this is a pretty vicious, like, oh wow, and it's so quick. It's so quick and just punchy,
Yeah.
And then they double down on it, because without this scene it wouldn't work as well, because for some reason Dr. Tamir, what's her name? Tiana. She's convinced Rutherford's dead.
Yeah.
Even though he isn't. Even though I'm not sure why they would think he was. They think he was in the vicinity, but they have no proof. Unless they told them, but they're lying. They would sure have scanned the area. I get the sense they're not allowed to go over there and check, and so they were just told. But to commit to he's dead without any sort of scans themselves, given you can to scan for Rutherford easily, it feels a bit contrived and lack of effort. And if it was only like minutes late, you'd think there'd be more of a let's see what happened rather than, oh yeah, I'm sure he's dead, moving on. Like, you know what I mean? Feels a little bit too full on like that.
Yeah. Well, Matt Williams says Mum feels very Troy mummish. We already talked about that. Oliver Lavery Farag throws in £5. This episode will satiate desires, both subtle and gross. Yes, thank you, Q. But yeah, we got a...
Stuart, do you want to throw out some more super chat and like goals? Because we're doing very well on both, but throw some goals out.
Honestly, another $60 in super chats would be fantastic.
That'd be good. Yeah,
and 3 more likes to get to 100, but let's try for 120. Let's not ask for the minimum. Let's stretch it a little bit. Let's go for 120. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Because right now, Tindy is crying. She is crying because we're not at 120 likes. Like, don't you guys feel so awful? I mean, the poor girl. She needs a hug. Anyway.
Oh yes, then we get the second moment. Although a ship that is couldn't tell what it is, but that's okay. But then you get another Star Wars reference, Force Awakens, just like on Jakku, Ray takes a little box thing or sled thing, goes down this desert hill and comes to the end. I mean, she's coming from Star Destroyer nacelles, but they come down the exact same angle, and those things like Star Destroyer nacelles. I mean, it's a blatant Force Awakens reference. I love it. It works. That's good. Could easily be Star Wars.
Apparently, scans show that the ship's engines are still operational or intact. So the whole thing is let's plug this thing into the ship to get it so we can get out of here. And there's an argument between Boimler and Mariner. So
my question here, though, is that the AI computer says the engines are broken. They don't scan it. So why would you believe him? You know, they kind of skip that beat of, oh, it's fine. It's like, scan. No, they're destroyed. Why isn't there that moment?
Well, we never saw them with the tricorder. We know they have phasers.
No, we did.
But...
They, we did previously. In the shuttle, briefly. It was like a briefing. They did some scanning or something.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Because you're not going to believe him. Like if he's scanning, he's not. He's lying. Why would this thing have? Anyway. But no, it cuts him down. No, we're going to do another ship. Boom, 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 and I think it builds the tension really well. Mariner's not taking the shit, you know.
Yeah, well, she calls him naive. She says, "This is exactly why I got you reassigned. You're going to believe this thing. You know, you're very naive."
And that's a hell of a. I thought he was lying still, the robot. But that I was like, ooh, he did do. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, because he tackles her and he's like, "What are you doing? Get off me!" He's pretty pissed off. She had no right to get him reassigned, and I totally agree with that. Considering he did serve on the Titan, and it's not really his fault that he's not on the Titan anymore. So I feel bad for the guy, but and then he phasers her. He's like, "You wouldn't even dare to." So, yeah.
Yeah, and the pacing here is fantastic. The build, because once it works better once you know he's playing. Once you know that it reads better as a scene, because she is just like really like, you freaking child. I'm 10 years older than you. You don't know anything. You're an idiot, and she has no conception that he's gonna do what he does. And he doesn't hesitate. Like, closes his eyes, fine, but he is right there. Obviously, it's a stun setting, so you can just stun people without really thinking. The actual menace of it is less than it thinks. The fact the scene plays with more menace is a statement to the quality of the writing and the action. Because it plays like he didn't kill her, but like he really screwed her over, but he just stunned her for 20 minutes, you know?
When you say you can stun anybody, that's kind of funny, because the first thing that comes to my mind is, who shot me? You were shooting up the gate room. In Stargate, remember? Daniel got shot.
Yes.
Yes, you were shooting up the gate room. That was hilarious. That's when stun would come in handy. You got a Zat gun. I mean, you could do it, but I don't know.
But he tendrils and they go in. It's all good. And then the mum confirms the dude's dead, and the queen. Oh, this scene made me laugh in a sad way.
Yeah. Philip resigns from Starfleet because his people need a leader, and you're like, come on, we knew this is coming.
Oh yeah, and every single cut he has more. I was hoping he'd go even further to more elaborate, but it's a really good look though. And look how smug the guards are. Like, that alone tells you there's something going on here. Their queen just died.
And then the whole, I have to do this. And as they're walking out, will it hurt?
It's so good.
Dom Blanco throws in $2. Closing his eyes to fire was Boimler 100%.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, here, okay, so we got a scene of two Starfleet officers checking the inspection or inspecting the damage. Maybe looking for bodies too. I don't know.
Because I instantly thought one was Rutherford, and it'd be like a weird twist of no, he got in a spacesuit before he left, and I was like, that makes no sense. But no, they're just people. Yeah, we're all weird.
But she's like, this isn't happening. She goes to the computer and asks, to scan for Rutherford or locate Ensign Rutherford. And it says his cybernetic implant is located on section 8 of the Hesperian ship. Which brings up your point. You'd think the Cerritos would be scanning for stuff like that as well. I can understand, because later we get it. It's established that the comm signal is being blocked. So the comm badge, yes, might not be traceable. But if his implant is this easily found by a computer on a random deck with no security clearance, chances are pretty good that they could find from the bridge. So.
Because it literally was that easy. There was no steps required. And the fact that, you're right, the computer already has this information in its database. Like, there are passive scans too. So it would know he was alive, or at least his cybernetics were, and you think it would have... It's a slight plot hole. It's a bit silly. I wish she had said, okay, he might have been damaged, destroyed. Scan for any Federation fabric materials, unique to Federation uniforms, and there's something left. Because you wouldn't scan for that small an element. This is an alien planet with unique materials. You wouldn't have the same polycarbons as in staff uniforms. But if it's, his implant, which is super, that's big and broad, and yeah, it's just a little bit silly. But I do like, now I'm seeing it, they are clearly in the a dining hall. That's in the MSD. He's literally in the dining room. Makes sense. But I don't get how it does... Oh, we're not there yet. Okay. Cut to the planet. Mariner wakes up. She's pissed, understandably so. Although she doesn't wake up and get a phaser. Like, she doesn't go full mean aggression. She's actually quite balanced, considering.
I actually missed a super chat.
Oh.
Jadic Productions, $5 Australian. I thought it was Quark hijacking your stream. There you go. Sorry if I missed the super chat. That happens sometimes.
Not this time.
There we go. All right. So yeah, Boimler gets on board. It's a cool looking ship, and the alien captain is pretty cool looking as well. We don't really see him yet. We'll see him in a second, but
yeah, the outside is just a freighter, but the bridge is pretty good.
Yeah. So he asks to be plugged into the navigation controls.
So do you want me to explain it then?
Yes, please do.
Okay, so ship, apparently functional engines, great. Boimler's got his plan. The plan is to use the power to distress call. Great, or at least if it can. And so puts him next to us because, why would this alien robot know every system on every ship? You wouldn't. So he plugs him next to the dimmer switch and says, right, if only this ship needs to have more power to work, there's no power. Then the robot, so then obviously her sister says, I will give you access to my power supplies to power up the ship. He's already connected via the other ports, seen off screen, but he's always implied he's connected. And the power cable is a more intricate way of doing it, kind of like, like a blood transplant. And so because you can see he's already connected via one cable, but the second cable means that he's not in direct control of the ship because he can't plug him into the navigation system. He'll actually have control of the systems. But if he plugs him into a non-system and uses the power, the whole thing turns on, and then Boimler can activate stuff independently. So, yeah, and the whole thing turns on because now there's power. Just use him as a battery. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, bridge goes on, and then the evil comes out.
Yes. I am Misi, who's a new member, has just joined the channel at the rank of Fleet Admiral. Whoa, that's awesome. Thank you very much.
It's double C, I think.
I am Misi.
As we've said before, amazingly helpful. That is like almost the toppest of tier of helpful. Thank you.
That's a lot of tippy-toppy tears.
It is. I mean, you Stuart? Okay. I am Misi. You now outrank Stuart and Sylvia. Say something that only someone of your stature would do. Even though Stuart's had years of training.
We'll wait.
Sylvia. Well, to be fair, he's our boss right now, so we have to wait. So, what do you want to say as your first thing in the highest ranking person in the stream, unless Olivia and Ozzy want to, because if they comment right now, they're presidents. So
And so's Mark. Mark was here
and
earlier.
Mark.
He's president too.
So let's see who's the highest rank and who's to say something, because their words echo in the annals of history. Highest ranking, step forward, because boy, it ain't us. You're a captain, I'm a commander. We're not the highest rank in the stream.
Pleased to be aboard. There you go. Pleasure to be aboard.
His first action was typos. Perfect. Welcome to Trekyards.
You'll fit right in. Olivia says I'm still here, so.
But speaking of still being here, how the hell did Tendi get aboard this ship?
No idea. I mean, it's a gangway, so she just walked across.
You would think you need approval to go onto the...
Yeah, I think there might be guards. Yeah, it's a royal ship.
I mean, it's not even in a sense of you think they're at risk, but it's the royal spaceship. I mean, it's fine, but it's a bit... There should be some level of how do you get through.
Well, they needed to... They needed to move the story along because they didn't have the extra 5 minutes that they needed. So
no, for sure. Oh no, Jeff says she's medical. I would have loved that.
Well, there was just an explosion. Sure.
If she had a tricorder and like medical jacket, if she brought her kit, that would have been great. She didn't. She's just sopping, just moping. But I'll take that. But I don't think this reveal is slow enough. It's instant. He's fine. It's like you said. They're speeding up now. It's without a second thought. Oh, he's fine. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's like, "Are you here for the feast or the celebration?"
And how did that?
He was like, "Of course I'm alive."
And how did Rutherford not feel the warp core exploding?
I know, right? No idea.
I mean, I guess they got next level emergency dampeners.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Jeff Sturm says, "Isn't she Orion royalty, or am I wrong?"
Not royalty, but
no, the mistress
class.
of the winter, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows what that means in Orion culture, but not something she wants to be known as. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Queen transported me. Well, actually, he says the Queen transported me here.
Just came as a group. I don't think literally transport.
For this, well, that's what he says. The Queen transported me here. Yeah, but could have been. Yeah, you're right. For the celebration feast because I did such a good job. Anyway, and she
doesn't even flinch.
No, she raises a glass and says, "At this very moment, he's destroying his virginity," and that her. Well, he's like, "Billups loves his virginity. He doesn't want to be the king." And then Rutherford tries to communicate, talk to Billups, but they got the guy with the guitar blocking the comms. Anyway, the royal guards have been trained since birth to skip foreplay.
That's a real weird thing. I'm thinking, though, not to put too much thought into it, that she's thinking, because if Billups is, 35, say, she's been trying to get him for 17 years, the guards aren't going to be trained from 10, are they? That's too creepy, so they've been trained since they started. Just if we ever get to Billups, we do him instantly. Yeah. Like, because once it's done, you can't undo it. Yeah. But boy, it's not a reveal, Stuart, them being alive. It falls massively flat as a reveal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Final now commence.
Sorry, last thing. Which one's a better reveal, Tyler Vock or Queen being alive?
Queen being alive.
That's sad for Tyler Vock, then. But yes.
Final now commence, who's been a member for 14 months at the rank of commander. Amazing. Says, "I enjoy the in-depth analysis. Thank you." Well, thank you. We appreciate hearing comments like that because we love doing this. So thank you so much.
I mean, no one does this level of detailed analysis, and we love that. Even if they don't necessarily need this much, it's great to put extra detail into the small things. So
anyway, back on the ship, we're in Billups' quarters, and I love that in his quarters, above his bed, above his bed, he's got the schematics and the MSD of the ship. Definitely dedicated to his profession.
I mean, honestly, that feels to me in the same vein that teenage boys would have a lingerie model or a woman draped over a car. He has full MSDs. Like, not just the standard one in the corridors. Detailed. Full of information. All of the subsystems included there. You can't miss any sexy detail. It's that level of, like, it's the big thing. So I wouldn't think Geordie would have this for the D.
Well,
right.
The closest we've seen, oh my God, closest we've seen is in Data's quarters. He has the schematic of the Enterprise. So.
And yes, this is made by Mike Okuda. We'll talk about it on a different video.
Good tea, nice house. So has joined the channel at the rank of Commander. So welcome, Commander.
That's fantastic.
So we got a new Fleet Admiral and a new Commander during this live. That is amazing, guys.
That is.
Also, we hit 120 likes, which was the goal. So thank you. I'm going to up it to 150 now. I know that's stretching, but we'll try. And still, another $50 in super chats would be fantastic.
Amazing. Yeah, that'd be really
help us hit our goals. So
and if you want
to
vote,
able to, yeah.
And if you want to vote on the poll, we'd love to get 100 people. So 12 people voting would be great. Now I do have one brief question. What did you think when we saw that there were both people here for him to sleep with? And it
made sense. Everything else made sense from that leading up to it, with the way they looked at each other, the way they were together. Okay. We always saw a male and a female guard when they're standing in doorways. There's always a male and a female, so it all makes sense now. Yeah. I thought it was fine. Yeah,
I agree. It's and it he doesn't know what he likes. He's a virgin, so
yeah,
it's also the future. So yeah, it's an aptly modern tale.
Yeah. But your stash is so regal. Meanwhile, Rutherford's running through the hallways. We got a horse. We got a stable here, which the stable is on the MSD for the ship. So there are horses on the MSD.
I don't know why the maid couldn't be more sci-fi maid, like that's so out of the old school. But it's fun. Boy, Billups is ripped, isn't he?
Yeah, he's also got
the pinkest nipples as well.
And such a great ass. I mean, we get to see his ass.
Well, and they gasp, so we've learned something new about him.
Were they gasping at the size, or were they gasping at the fact that he was still flaccid?
Oh, that's true.
I don't know.
No, that's true. Yeah. He's not performing yet. So it'd have to be. Oh yeah.
Unless it's like hanging to his knees, then it's like but.
Sir, your balls. The size.
Moving on.
I've never seen such specimens of male. Anyway.
Tom Blanco puts in $5.
Thank you.
Speaking of hitting goals, both of them in the bed made me laugh. They lose their virginity in grand fashion in their
That's
culture.
true.
Yeah.
That's a good way of looking at it as well.
And Yo Mama says, pink nipples, LOL, I died. At least it didn't say pink thrusting nipples of power this time.
Well, no, it'd be regal nipples of strength.
Regal nipples of dragon's breath. I don't know.
Dragon nipples of regal birth.
Let's move on from the nipples.
I hope someone walked by the room and heard me say dragon nipples of regal birth and was like, the fuck?
I love when Rutherford comes into the room.
Yes.
Where's Billups? Did his kingdom come? I laughed out loud at that every time I've seen this, which is 3 times now.
It's funny. But no. Virginity was also his curse. Which makes sense. Yeah. He's got 2 to perform against, and he's either king. I can imagine. There's a stressful moment.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, the queen's still alive, but this prince remains dry. And then the disappointed look on their faces, I love that. Were you surprised that I sent you that for the thumbnail for my live last night?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It has the Cerritos in it.
Well, that's the joke, isn't it? It's like you get... What do you see first? The ship or the people? Oh, the ship. Oh, there's naked people. Like, such a duality of who sees what. Do you see ship first or not ship first? But then, go up to the ship. Mariner comes in. And then you get a fantastic doomsday scene. Fantastic.
I gotta say, the alien captain looks very cool. I love the horn, the skeleton. Actually, it looks like a Cardassian with the neck, but it's not. And even the uniform is very cool.
Because it reminded me of the where is the alien? Oh, is he Leighton there?
No, he's before the whole. As soon as Mariner comes into the ship, onto the bridge.
In the screen caps?
In mine, anyway.
Yeah, I
don't think I missed it for yours. I get more for yours.
No,
I can send it to you if you want.
I can find it separately. But no, I love the fact that these drones are clearly reference to the Arsenal Freedom ones, and it's a great moment.
The problem is when the computer gets the horns and the arms, he looks like something out of Reboot. Looks like one of the binomes from Reboot.
Cool. So you weren't scared then by his power.
Yeah, it's Jeffrey Combs. I mean,
but this scene works all the better because the comedic, record. What? Cut out and then it zooms back in. Beautiful. Well, I'm wondering, how could he turn the ship into drones? And B, why would he want to rule an empty world? But power is power.
Yeah, the ship might have replicators, replicate them, or replicate parts for them.
But he only has access to the dimmer switch, so he doesn't know what the ship has. He hasn't got the computer system.
Not yet.
So is the true, you've unlocked the beast, totally, as flaccid a creature as Billups was in this moment, but he doesn't know
very
yet.
Nice. Very nice.
Oh! It makes sense.
Kevin Scott, 76, $2. We should all support JP's trip to LA next week. Who's JP? Jean-Luc Picard? What?
No, isn't that Egotastic Fun Time? Why is he finally able to go to the sets?
Maybe.
Kevin Scott, tell us more details, because you like Egotastic. We almost went to the sets too, which is frustrating, but we were invited, but obviously then the world shut down, so...
Yeah, it's a long story.
Hopefully it's still next season, so we can go for the next season.
Matt Williams, £4.50.
Thank you.
A nice reveal, if not quite Warbird decloaking the Defector. Great payoff for Boimler following all the Titan stuff, character development again. Yeah. My camera's getting glitchy again.
Yeah, it's been that for the last hour.
I know, since the computer shut off and restarted.
Yeah. What's the reveal?
Oh, well, he's been boimed. I just love the way
has not been boiming, but he's been boiming right there.
Yeah, I love the way Boim was just standing there with his arms crossed. He's like, "Nah, I used you." It's like, what? Yeah, so he used his power cell to send a distress signal. You were too busy scheming, you didn't even notice, so you've been boimed. That's a new term now for Star Trek fans.
And also the fact that it's presumably been like a couple of minutes max means that Boim was right on it. He had a plan. He was there. He worked out how to use the alien systems. It's a really good moment for him, and it feels so correct and satisfying.
Yeah.
No, it's real good.
Jeff Sturm has joined the channel at the rank of commander. That is 3 channel memberships this.
My God.
Live. So thank you so much, guys. That is awesome.
There
you can see the captain in that frame.
Yeah. I zoomed in. Definitely Cardassian with a horn like the alien we saw. Two ago. Mugatu's. It's a decent bridge. I'm reminded of the Defiant chairs, with the chairs a little bit. But no, seriously, join the channel is really incredible. And these couple of last months have been not good financially. We've been throwing content, but they haven't quite hit home. So those do matter, and we're doing really well so far. So thank you so much.
And speaking of, another $40 in super chats would be great before we close out.
So good.
We still have the ranking.
Oh my God! Really? What?
Still have the ranking out of 10. What's wrong?
Check. Look. My God.
I'll see you in a second.
Wow.
Still the last super chat slots and the rankings out of 10. So if you want to super chat those, that'd be awesome. Another 40 would be great. Dom Blanco has joined the channel at the rank of Fleet Admiral. Oh my God. Fleet Admiral. Welcome, sir. That's 2 Fleet Admirals. We need more fleets.
So we have 3 presidents and 2 Fleet Admirals. There's 1 chat alone. I mean, is there enough even authority to go around? What if they all start?
We can keep dishing it out.
But we're just sat here like, yes, sir. Who do I follow? There's so many people in charge. Like, we're just, wow, amazing. You guys are
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you.
Eric Martin throws in $5. I love the big storage place for all the evil computers. Kind of reminds me of the last shot of Indiana Jones. Yeah, we'll get there in a second. There's a nice little Easter egg in there. Anthony Tsu puts in $5. May thy kingdom come. I know. I hope my kingdom comes tonight. Moving on.
But yeah, I love the genuine chemistry with Bournemouth and Mariner here.
Yes.
The genuine, you did it. Well done. Like it just feels so genuine and so good. And then the robot's like, but I'll blind you then. But the comedic timing is perfect here. It is the right sort of payoff for the scene. Fantastic.
Yeah. The way she congratulates him is very genuine.
And I think this is the scene that kind of brings it above, for you, the two parts. Like the setup's good and the payoff's good. It's elevated as a story, versus the Billups thing, which isn't quite the same. Well, there's no payoff, literally, but
yeah. Anyway, this is back on the engineering room of the Cerritos. He's like, "This is new low even for you, mother. Faking your own death. I love Starfleet, and I don't want to live in a castle with pet dragons and all the mutton I can eat." Anyway, you must accept the fact that I'll remain a virgin for the rest of my life. She's like, "We'll see about that." And then everybody, Billups. Before we continue, Loki Flack threw in a $50 super chat, so thank you so much. That is amazing. Really enjoying this season and this episode. Lots of character development. Absolutely. The character development in this show is far superior to, as Matt Boardman said earlier in the chat, which I didn't read, but he said, "I know more about these characters in shorter episodes in 1.5 seasons than I do about the entire Discovery crew after 3 full seasons of hour-long episodes." So,
and even the same thing for Picard. We like Billups more than Jurati and Rio. Not Rios, but like it.
Well, Rios is
one episode.
Picard, yeah.
It's shocking. I love the cavalierness of the mum. She blew up her own warp core. She almost had her son deflowered. She might have caused a Federation incident. It's fine. I'll do it again. I'll try it next week. It's fine. I love the gentle like evilness. It's a very well played. I just thought it was very well. Like she's gonna be a recurring villain.
But anyway, thank you, Loki Flack. That is amazing. That hit the 40 goal.
It did.
But now we're actually $20 away from another great number. So if anyone wants to throw in a couple fives for the last super chat slot or for your ranking of this episode, by all means, please do.
And boy, this is helping our month. You guys have an idea, but this is really helping our month.
Another 18 more likes to get to 150 would be awesome too. So if you haven't hit that like button, please consider doing so.
Now, what do you think about them eating cake and no one referencing it? I'm torn because it just feels a bit odd to me, but it's cute. But just
there's a big cake on the console. I never even noticed it till you said it right now.
Yeah, they're all just eating cake. As I guess this is your virginity cake. Congrats for not losing it.
Yeah.
Although weirdly, they've all got cake, but there's almost no slices taken out of it. I guess it was 2 cakes. It's just such a weird thing to have. Everyone's eating cake. It's weird.
Anyway, they get the nice apology from Tendi saying, sorry for... Oh. There we go. Sorry for pushing you out of your, comfort. But Rutherford's not mad. He's like, "Are you kidding? I loved it. I got to work on an expensive engine, eat a feast, and save my boss." So, and get blown up. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why she's apologized necessarily. I think it's a fine thing for him to say. To try and.
Well, she felt guilty. She felt like it was her fault that he died.
But she couldn't have.
Because when she was going on the ship, she said, "If only I wouldn't have pushed him outside his comfort zone, he'd still be alive." So she was beating herself up over it when she went over to the ship. So.
And Drew says, "So is Billups asexual? No, just bisexual."
Mm-hmm.
Just likes everybody.
Maybe he's pansexual because he loves his warp core.
Yeah, but that's like a inner love or external. Always,
Ah,
always doing stuff to it, and that does
well, it's pumped full of dilithium,
it is, but not his
and we
dilithium.
don't know what they call
Oh,
ejaculate on its planet. That could be dilithium, right?
was that the cause of the burn?
Jesus Christ.
He dragon breathed all over the dilithium. His dilithium. Anyway, but I get, yeah, she feels guilty, but I don't think she should apologize for saying do your comfort zone. And I thought I enjoyed it as well.
Mm.
Although I'm surprised as they leave the scene, he's like, yeah, Starfleet, you know, we can always almost die, and she's like, oh, which I'm assuming is gonna be a longer arc of like, I love you so much I don't want you to die, but they haven't got that relationship, so it felt a little bit out of place. But it's presumably a setup. Not sure.
Um,
And then
then we get a runabout.
very squashed, but I like it.
They get saved, and
Great interior look.
computer's like, hey, you know, I like friendship better than manipulation. I'm deleting all my manipulative subroutines. I want to be in Starfleet just like you guys. Drop me off at the Academy. I can be the next 709. Egg myself one.
Yeah, I thought that was a beautiful little scene, just because they don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
He's done bullshit from moment one. Just listen to it. I love that. That was great. And then yeah, we get Owagawa, and this is the same shot from Picard. So it is.
Yep. You're absolutely right.
So this is the first full-on Picard reference. There you go. Good job.
And then we get the self-aware megalomaniacal.
Megalomaniacal.
That's the word.
Oh,
Computer storage.
I never saw that panel. Ah! That's
Destroy the
fantastic.
Federation. You shut up. You're not going to destroy the Federation. You don't have it in you. And one of them, on the left-hand side, just three down. 1, 2, 3, third slot from Jeffrey Combs is the CBS logo, which is fucking hilarious.
And since they are now CBS Paramount,
Yeah.
there's no longer the logo for it. Yeah, right there. Oh dear. Oh my. And I did quite like also this is they're wearing this. I didn't notice this, but they're wearing the same lab coat as the TNG doctor people occasionally wear, civilians, and there's the same Daystrom symbol as Picard. So it's all exactly as it should be.
Yeah.
And the fact they like as a boss don't even say anything else, they just walk away and let the robots do the speaking is boy, that's a visual. That's a real visual.
Can you imagine if there was an accident and like
They all got loose.
earthquake, they all like collapsed in together and formed one giant super.
Yes. They Voltron this bitch. That's great. Although,
Anyway,
guys,
that's it.
4 more votes. We have 4 more votes on the licorice debate. 4 more.
And 12 more likes if possible. We have a few super chat scores. I'll read those in a minute. We want to give our scores first, and I'll get to those. But thank you so much, everybody that super chatted. Honestly, another $5 would be a great way to cap off. And there's that last super chat slot as well. So,
Yeah.
really great character development for Boimler in this one. The Mariner Boimler story was really great, really well done. I think really enjoyed that. Jeffrey Combs was fantastic as an evil AI. I mean, Jeffrey Combs, can't go wrong. The Billups stuff was all right. Like interesting take on the spacefaring culture to have like dragons and castles and be so extravagant. That was neat. But honestly, didn't really care much for it. There's some interesting visuals, I gotta say. So that was good. I like that. Not just the ship and the interior, but I mean like the, becoming the king scene. I don't know how else to say it without, just saying it. So honestly, this one was very middle of the road for me because I really enjoyed the one story, but not the other one so much. And I really liked the character development for Boimler. I think it's spot on, perfect. He's really coming into his own as a character, and I think that's fantastic. Mariner is as well, slowly at times, but at the same time, she also goes back and reverts back to her former self by getting him taken off of the assignment he wants to be on, things like that. So I think that she's being very well handled as well. Her growth is a little bit slower. So yeah, I think the writing's great. As for a score, for this season, I'm going to give it this is a 7 out of 10 for me. For all lower decks, it's probably going to get a 6, though. 6.5, actually. 6.5 out of 10. Just kind of there. It's the higher end of the middle of the road for me. So, yeah, those are my scores. So, Samuel, give us your thoughts, and then we will read these super chat scores that these fine people have been doing, because that is awesome.
And like I said, again, you guys are doing amazing. The 50s are just... You don't realize how much... Well, you do realize that's why I'm giving it, but they help out so much. And we're having... I mean, it's so positive to see these, especially for a low decks review. These have been light for the last few weeks, so this is really amazing. Thank you. Like, you can tell we're feeling like, oh, but that's... Thank you. But no, this episode is going first, apparently. Oh my god. What the hell is this? Oh my god.
That's me from a few years ago.
This episode, yes, is good. It's got two great concepts, neither give enough time to truly blossom. One in particular.
There was no blossoming at all.
Although the Boimler petal did bloom. So yeah, there you go. But it's good. I don't think Mariner reverted, like you said, so much as this is who she is normally. She's just depending on what situation she's presented. So I think she's just staying in character, which is, the reason, she's 35, she's had 10 years or more of dealing with herself and people and learning these lessons. So she's just being consistent. But the fact that she does work with him, the fact that she does, she doesn't believe in him at the start, but there's a combination of jealousy and combination of Mama Bear, overprotective. Now he's shown he doesn't need it, so I think this is a moment for both of them, an important moment. But I think that story's good, but they're both too short to fully be realised. The other stuff is fun and creative and needed more jokes. The time between he's dead, he's alive is so short, it doesn't quite work as a non-reveal. Plot hole of him finding him is a little bit simple, but the payoff is really good with Billups, and it's nice to see them being. I was about to say nice to see his character grow, but we didn't see that on purpose. So many innuendos. But the captain was good. The mum was good. It was a lot of good pieces. It's like a jigsaw that it should have been a 5,000 piece, and it would have been okay if they missed a few pieces. But it was like a 2,000 piece. It's like, if only that was a bit cooler, If it was a bit bigger, a bit grander, it would have been more epic. So it's kind of hard to judge what I want it to be rather than what it was. But I would say it's probably. Oh, sorry, you can jump in.
I was going to say, and bonus points to this episode and the writers for the which she will be reoccurring character of Loxana Troy. I mean, whatever the mom's name is. Yeah.
Queen Mom.
Foil.
Queen Mom.
Yeah.
No, I think this definitely is a better one of the season. I think for me this is the second best of the season because of the cohesive. Oh. Yeah, it's cohesive, and both stories are good. Just they don't quite. All the other ones have a weak part. There's no really weak part. Just I do though. It's extremely light on references to the point of almost nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a runabout is not a reference. It's a logical travel mechanism, so it's hard to say it's a reference. Obviously it is, but it's so because on a few more of the universe including things, but it was fine. So for me, I think it's gonna get I'm gonna be 8.2 for the season.
Wow. Okay.
Between 8 and 8.2. I preferred a lot of Low Deck Season 1 more, so I'm going to say 7.5. Because it doesn't have any weak parts specifically. It's just missing the secret sauce. But it's definitely better than a lot of this season.
It's missing Billups' secret sauce.
God, everything makes so much sense.
Yep.
So yeah, it's good, but not amazing. But definitely, second, third best of the season so far.
Cool. Well, there you go. Those are our thoughts, guys. You guys have thoughts too, and you've super chatted those. So thank you so much, guys. That is awesome. I am me. C throws in $5. This is 8 out of 10 for me. Dom Blanco, $5.
Thank you.
7.5 out of 10. Solid. Could be better. Snoopy McQueen, $2. I give this a 5 out of 10. Worst episode of the year. Totally disagree with you, Snoopy. Sorry. Sergeant Montgomery, $2, 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. Wouter215, our first super chatter of the day today, puts in €10. Thank you so much. This was a fun one. Hit like. Yes, hit like. We were one away from 150. One more person has to hit like. I am me, C, throws in $5. There was a great interview with Combs on the AV Club site about this episode and his roles in general. Yes. Kevin Scott, 76, $2. Yes, egotastic fun time going to interview Orville. Oh, lucky guy. That was awesome. Loki Flack throws in another $5.
Thank you.
Says 8 out of 10 for the episode. Zango76. That's my dog drinking. Zango76 throws in $5. Glad to see background characters getting stories. Last week, Helm Guy and Jennifer.
That's
this
true.
week, Billups. 8 out of 10.
Super true.
Precious.
And arguably, previously, there was the Bajoran Strax' episode. And yeah, no, very true. Very good. Very good point.
Yeah. And Matt Williams put 50. Sustainable warp score of 9.975.
Well, Matt, is that your favorite episode of the entire franchise of Lower Decks? Because that is a top tier score. Let us know in the chat. So pretty high scores. A lot of colours. You guys are doing. I don't know why today, especially you guys are just so generous and it's so helpful.
Even 4channel members.
Oh my god, and 2 top tier ones, guys. Seriously, amazing. All right, let me read out the non-super chat scores. Which guys do put in your score.
Oh, got one more.
I'd love to read non-super chat.
Dom
scores.
Blanco, $2. Yes, everyone who likes licorice is going to the brig.
And he's a free admiral, so he can order everyone.
Yep.
Luckily, it was 70% dislike, so there's not that many of you. So the crew is surviving mostly. Good stuff.
It's true.
So non-super chat scores, we've got a 9.5. We've got 9.5. We've got 8.5. Favorite from me. Oh, was that the... Yeah, it was his favorite episode of both seasons. Wow, Matt. Even last year's Packlid episode. The end season one. Wow. So I definitely think the Packlid one and the movie are both much better than this episode. I mean, you would obviously agree.
Yeah.
But those definitely reached the heights. I do think this is definitely a more interesting story than we've had in a lot of these episodes so far. More interesting, like, as story ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit worried still, the last 3. Because, they haven't necessarily kicked as much ass this season.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully it's going to, won't be long to find out. But, yeah, hopefully we end on a really strong note. Because that was almost the end, Stuart, already of Lower Decks. My goodness.
2 more episodes. Well, 3 more episodes.
3 more episodes, yeah.
8, 9, and 10, yeah.
That's wow. That went quick.
And
And gosh, how many videos have we made? Gosh darn.
Well, right now, Dom Blanco is the last super chat slot. $2. Who's telling everybody that likes licorice to go to the brig. Hey, I like licorice. I just don't like black licorice. I think that's what he meant though. So, but yeah, so Dom has the last super chat slot. If anyone wants to get it from him, now's the time. We had 150 likes. Super chats are great. A $6 one would be perfect.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, this has been a fantastic live. Thank you for all of you that turned up. If you like Lower Decks, like I think you guys do, please come back every Friday until Lower Decks Season 2 is done to join in. There's only 72 of you here.
Yeah.
We got up to 80-something at one point. So, I mean, it's not been 150 kind of numbers, but you guys have really hit it out of the park today. So we appreciate that so much.
And a great active chat, because let's be honest, we really encourage just lots of conversation. So if there's 30 of you and you're all saying stuff, that would really give us the energy to keep going and talk and stuff, because we want to, super chats are what helps the channel go, but the comments help the videos go because we want to interact. That's amazing. But of course, after the season's finished, we do our drunk retrospective. Now those are a ton of fun. Obviously for the drunk bit, but also we had to re-experience the entire season, re-give our thoughts based on rewatching them, so see how we get to binge it then. And I'll tell Stuart, I'll work out, I can tell Stuart scientifically what is his favourite and least favourite, but also he gives me his new set of favourite scores, having then just rewatched it, and so we'll see how they match or don't match as time. Aww.
It's a young captain and little Cassie. Sorry.
As time goes on, so we'll see how our scores change, and that is always super fun. That's my favorite videos we do actually of any given thing we do. And what's great is that by the end of the live, you're normally either too tired to care or you're so engaged to care. Like, Stuart, right, our scores. You're an 8, you're 4, and it's just a laugh a minute sort of thing. And those are often like 3-4 hours, less so for low decks ones because they're shorter. Yeah. But those are really fun. I really enjoy those.
Yes, well, good tea, nice house, $5. 1 brunt plus 4 Wayuns plus 2 Shrands for a total score of 7. That's great. 4 Wayuns there could be. Yeah. Good. General Grievous throws in $1 in an attempt to get that last super chat slot, but gets blown out of the water with a $20 super chat from Dom, who says, "I meant black licorice, Captain." Yes, I assumed you did. I'm sorry. You just said licorice, though. You got to be specific because I really like licorice. You're not sending me to the brig for it. I'm still the captain. I know you're a fleet admiral, but it's my ship.
And besides, you could like take a ship and like run away because you have a ship.
Run away, run away.
You could Kirk it. Now I'll just disclaim in case anyone wants to be generous. We got the massive goal. We're only doing math. $24 away from a tremendous goal. A really nice round number. No pressure. We'll go like another 2 minutes. But if anyone else would put in 24 or get that would be incredible. No pressure. I'm just saying we're right there on the precipice of a big goal. We haven't hit for a long time, actually, so that'd be great. But yeah, good stuff, Stuart. Good stuff. You're going to get more videos, as always, guys, looking at ships, etc. We have filmed one looking at the
John Toll.
At the new ship. Bit of fun. There's also some more content from previous Low Decks episodes, as you know, they release more than we had. Although, briefly to out the Playmobil video, Stuart, pimp that, because that's a whole thing.
Yes. Did a video a while ago with the was it worth it, the price for the Playmobil Enterprise before it got released. Got one from them because they saw that and they wanted me to review it in hand and do an unboxing. So I've done that, and I've actually released 2 videos as a result. One was a short video of about 47 minutes. Yeah. I figured with the generosity that they showed sending me that, they deserved the fair shake and a good review, so I tried to include everything. And that's doing really well. That was released yesterday. And today I released the complete full unboxing, build, and review, which is about 1 hour and 44 minutes. It's a feature-length review. And if you guys are interested in seeing a build, thank you. It took me like 2 days to film it. I was so frustrated by the end of it. You can tell in the segment with Sylvia, I was waiting for her. She was on the phone with her mom, and it's like the light. I was losing the light, and I wanted to film it. And so she's like, "Are you mad at me?" And just before we filmed, she says, "Are you mad at me?" I'm like, "Yeah, sit down."
Look, you should have said, "Sylvia, tell your damn mother we're filming a Star Trek toy unboxing review video. It's from Playmobil. Get off the priorities. Tell your mum we're reviewing a toy for a YouTube channel. We're busy."
Well, we had just finished a live, and then she called her mom right after the live when she knew I had to film and had a certain amount of light in the living room, and it was just annoying me a little bit. But anyway, so yeah, that's the long video. It's released today, so if you want to check out both, there's a little bit different intros and outros for both and stuff like that.
I did watch the first one, I'll be honest. That thing's big.
It's huge. I'm going to do another video comparing it to the 350 one and the Mega Bloks one, because it's worth...
I mean, I got to say, well, can I spoil Sylvia's reaction because I found it so entertaining?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're on the couch, and it goes, "I'm just super chats amazing," but I want to tell this brief story just in case. You know.
Yeah, we'll read them in a second. Yes, I'm excited.
Let's be honest. The next goal is 31 because you blew past that goal. 31's the next goal. Jesus Christ, guys. Anyway, so you sit on the sofa, and you've already heard your review, and it's not worth it, and you're not seething, but you're just like, there's the energy of it's not worth it, and you can visible on your face and your mannerisms.
Plus the dogs were pissing me off.
Yeah.
Apologize for the dogs, guys.
I didn't know you're about to be flooded in a day. You know, classic stuff.
Oh yeah, that was pre-flood.
Yeah, you knew that was coming. And then all of a sudden she says a high amount. So how much worth? He says, "You're like, why did I marry you?" Such a.
But then she's like, "I would buy it for you, Captain, because I love you." And I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she says, I mean, she almost gets it right. It's like when you're watching a game show and you know the real price. They tell you. She says it's 500 in Canadian or American, and if I she's stuck with or American, because there's a big difference there between the two numbers.
Yeah.
She would have been so right, and your face is like, I thought you were gonna say 200, because your face is thinking, she's gonna like I'm saying a reasonable price of 250. She's gonna say like 150, like something, and you're just like. And you're so deflated. I love it. It's so satisfying to watch. Because
well, there you go.
It's great. It's really fun, actually.
And we got some comments that we need more Admiral Sylvia on the channel joining me for reviews and stuff. So we'll see. See how it goes.
No,
anyway, let's get to these amazing super chats. You guys are awesome.
Wow.
I am me. C throws in $25. Goals are good. Goals are good. And so thank you so much for hitting that goal for us.
Oh my God.
But then Loki Flack throws in $25 and says, extra goal.
It's like there's a hill and our normal snipers are just like, they put their snipers on the ground, their little low caliber rifles just chilling, and there's these new guys walking in the rocket launcher saying, hold my beer. We're
just took out 5 snipers with 1 shot.
And we're like, we're used to get shot by bullets. Why is there a hole next to me? God damn, I'm being sniped by big ordnance today. My God.
Well, General Grievous snipes in with $1, one of our regular snipers.
It's not quite as powerful now. It's just like...
Dom Blanco, $25 super chat. And says, Fleet Admiral.
Oh my God.
Fleet Admiral for the win, throwing his weight around.
Yeah.
General Grievous, $1 snipe, and then Dom Blanco, $1 snipe as well. So right now, Dom has the last super chat slot, and if he loves his Trekyards family, his name's Dom. Because his family is everything. People named Dom. You wonder where I was going with that.
It's all about family. And
Sergeant Montgomery.
And I am Groot.
Sergeant Montgomery throws in $2. Hale 9000 snipe.
No.
Dave.
Read it again.
Hal 9000
You said
snipe.
Hale 9000.
I know, I did. I didn't mean to.
I know.
Sorry.
I said sorry.
That's why I said Dave at the end. Cause
what he said.
General Grievous, $2. Size matters not. Billups might disagree. Matt Williams puts in $1 or £1.79. So thank you.
It's like a cornucopia of amazingness. Oh
Good
God.
tea. Nice house throws in $5. Excelsior.
Which they said last week, didn't they? Out of the blue.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Are they owned by Marvel? I don't know.
Dom Blanco throws in $2. Rejected.
Ooh.
So Dom has the last super chat slot yet again.
It's a war of wallet. As weird as that is, it really is.
Yeah.
But wow. So enjoy the pre-recorded videos over the weekend.
Yes.
I'm busy with real life. You may or may not do something. Who on earth knows? You often don't know until you're suddenly live. Awesome.
Yeah.
And we'll be back next week. There was some new Picard images.
Yes.
So we'll see if more comes out, because I guess that's going to be a thing. They keep releasing, and I'm excited if they keep doing that.
Plus, they're leading up to October 8th, which is Comic-Con, which is going to maybe be a Strange New Worlds trailer and more a Discovery trailer, probably. So, who knows?
So, in essence, we had a busy week, and it's going to happen again soon.
Yes, and I'm excited for it. I am me. C throws in $10 or $1 snipe. General Grievous $2. Stan Lee's Excelsior is better than Sulu's. Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Loki Flack throws in
$10.
Can't attend much of these, so just dumping money when I can. It's a huge deal, so thank you so much for the super chats, guys.
I mean, we'll take your we'll take your dumps. I was gonna make a dump truck joke, and I simplified it in my brain without me, and then then that was worth the soup. That was
as soon as it was coming out, dump like a dump. You realized what you did, right? Well, Loki is now the last super chat slot with a nice $10 snipe. Thank you so much.
You guys are amazing. So until next week, he's Captain Foley.
I am, and we have new fleet admirals, but he's Commander Cockings. We actually have another commander too, so.
And you guys are absolutely incredible. See you then, guys.